Well, 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 well. This is a busy little chat room, isn't it? Before show. Who are all you people? Okay, started without me, huh? Welcome, welcome. Can we even go through all your names? Welcome all. How about that? All people in the chat. Nice to see the dedication, guys. Nice to see you've booked your slot, booked your seat, and you're here ready to get back onto the Adelson case. Everybody's favorite case. You do a case like Michael Draker, you get 2 people showing up in the stream for the first 30 minutes. Then when the word spreads how great the content is, they all come running and we get up to about 34. Now we've got 34 people in the chat before we start. Because why? Because we're on the Adelson case. What are we going to be covering today? Well, I got a message the other day from a very unhappy viewer who wrote in capitals, right, in uppercase, wrote in uppercase and said, "Oh my God, 6 minutes in, and I haven't even been told what to expect from this video." You know, like what do you call it? Like an introductory index of where we're going to go. And I was listening to Roberta Glass's podcast this afternoon, and actually, good old professional Roberta Glass did start off with a sort of breakdown about what viewers can expect. So maybe we should start doing that. But I did think that this one disgruntled viewers comment was quite funny. You know, it's amazing how upset people get about these silly little things, right? Like as if I'm actually in a job where people can tell me what to do. It's not the case. I do whatever I want. I try to be cool about it, but you know, well, just you can't please everyone. You know, you can't please everyone, and some people just seem really like they need a problem in their lives. Anyway, guys, what are we doing tonight? We should give an introductory breakdown. Well, we're going to be looking at all the Donna Adelson court appearances to date. I know it's not exactly new news, but it's new news for this channel, and we've been meaning to get onto it, so let's just do it. And I think what we're going to do also later on another video, right? Because we're just going to do, there's 2 appearances from Miami-Dade, one remote, one in person. And then we're going to go to when Donna has been transported up to Leon County to face Honorable Judge Stephen Everett for her arraignment, right? Okay, let's share the screen. And that's quite funny because her legal representative, Marissa Descalzo, just comes up there, guns slinging, fast talking, fast paced, super cool, super Miami. And the whole of Leon County is just like, listen, lady, this is Tallahassee, babe. We don't play like that here, okay? Okay, give me a second here, guys. Okay, I think first of all, hey, check this out, guys. Is this, yeah. Just look at all the content we've been putting out. Look at how nice that looks and colorful. Loads and loads of content. This is just in a month. So anyone out there who's not subscribed to the channel, get subscribing. Go back and watch the content that we've put out because it's great and awesome. There's loads of Adelson cases. There's loads of other cases. We've got Sarah Boone coming up. We just keep putting out the content, okay? So no one can say we're not doing our part. But I thought we'd go back to this video. The arrest of a fancy lady. Now, if anyone out there has not seen our full video commentary of the arrest of Donna Adelson in Miami International Airport, there's a link to that specific video in the description for this video, and it's quite good. It's one of our popular videos, I think. A lot of love in the comments. They call that. We're not going to watch the whole thing, obviously. I'm not going to live stream myself, but I just wanted to just have a look at the end to where she's being transferred to the jail, like she's getting out of the car.
That country.
So she's just been arrested, had that 13-mile perp walk all through International Airport, Miami. No travelators allowed, no walking corridors allowed, just walking. But she had those really comfortable shoes on, made by, who was the brand? Hoka. Good product placement for Hoka, right? Anyway, she's about to be brought in out of the cop car. She's been super cool all the way through her arrest. She's just sort of like, no panic. I mean, I do not want to give her credit, right? But I was thinking this the other day, that although we all think she's very, very bad and she's a piece of shit and, just really deserves to spend the rest of her life in jail because she killed Professor Markel, although we're all in agreement about that. If we were to write her character into a movie, it would not be that hard to write it in a cool way, like a cool bad guy in a fictional tale, right? That doesn't have any bearing on real life. So please don't confuse those things in the comments, guys, okay?
Yeah, look at that. I hate to draw attention to this, but that upper chest area.
Oh,
well, I should say lower neck area, basically. That is, and have no support for that member of the jury to.
This scene here was just great because it was like, it was cold. She's gone from this airport, just about to get on a first-class Emirates flight to Dubai, the richest airport in the world, and then go on to Vietnam, non-extradition Vietnam, with husband Harvey, who's only going to live for about another 3 years, and then it'll be gigolos and pina coladas in Saigon forever in peace. No arrest for Donna. But she got caught, right? She got caught because she bought her tickets herself. I mean, all the planning and prep they do, you think she would have just farmed that out and got, stowaway tickets, jumped a freighter. That would have been great. Jump a freighter with Harvey. It just didn't work out like that, Donna.
Have to be governed by their emotional reaction to this.
Why?
People are saying, oh, it's going to be the same defense and it's this and that. Doesn't matter. This is going to be a totally different trial. And to my mind, this is probably for a separate video right now. But
Man, I got that right as well, didn't I? Have you seen the friggin' witness list that the state has put out for? They got Charlie, they got Robert. They're bringing Robert down from upstate New York to testify in his mother's trial. That should be very interesting. I personally haven't heard that much from Robert. He was on the what do you call it? That podcast, that really good podcast that was pretty good. Anyway,
Bound's style is way better at the kind.
Oh, and who else have they got coming? They've got Tara Kawas coming. To testify in Donna Adelson's trial. That's Katie Magbanawara's attorney. Very interesting. And as Roberta pointed out last night or this morning or whenever it was, that's probably going to be to attest to whether or not Donna offered or went forward and paid for Katie Magbanawara's trial. Why would you do that if you weren't instrumental in the murder plot yourself? Well, Donna, can't wait to hear what you have to say about it.
I said earlier that the blue shirt kind of looks like a Nurse Scrubs. Anybody seen Nurse Jack?
Anyway, okay, let's. I just wanted to get a bit of the rain shot. We're gonna move ahead in time now, guys, to her very first appearance. So she will have been stripped down, stripped of all her jewelry, inspected. There's just something so funny about that. If you're a hardened criminal, going into jail and stripping down and getting in your scrubs, it's just part of your routine, right? If you're in and out, you think Luis Rivera gives a damn about doing that? Yeah, hold up your balls. Hold your balls up, Luis. Again. Crouch down. Yeah, but for Donna, it would have all been really new, right? Really super new. But I think she's adapted pretty well and is now just embracing prison, saying, oh, yeah, let's go. Let's get on with it. You want me to strip down? I'll strip down all day. Man, did you see those tiny, tiny murdering chopstick wrists of hers? Look at that. Look at that. It's like a starving African child. From when they get so thin that you just see the bones. I think if that shirt fit her, she'd actually look pretty good in it, sort of a long V-neck, good cut. Just fetch her a tailor and she could clean up well in jail. You never know.
Whenever I take her ready.
All rise for County Session. The Honorable Judge the Flag.
Oh, here she is, ready with her laptop. Adjust the laptop, Marissa. It's showtime, Marissa. Come on. You got to be fast-paced. Remember who your client is, Marissa. It's an Adelson, okay? So really pull it out of the bag this time, Marissa.
Please announce the record. Douglas Hall, Florida.
Pam Presnell with the Public Defender's Office.
So it looks like we have Miss Donna Adelson in the chair. Good morning, Miss Adelson.
Does anyone know why they've got someone from the public defender's office when she's obviously got a paid attorney right there on stream, on FaceTime? Why is there a public defender's office representative there? What are they going to do?
Judge Jones, you are here at first appearance on case number 2023 CF 3226. You are charged with 1 count of murder, 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder, and 1 count of solicitation to commit murder. I see that we have your attorney with us here on Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Marissa Descalzo on behalf of Donna Adelson.
Good morning, Mr. Descalzo. So this was an arrest that was.
And what is with that posture, Donna? Head tilt. There's something with crazy women and head tilts. Do you remember the picture of Jody, the first mugshot? Jody Arias? Head tilt, smile, crazy woman. And now, what does the pose remind me of that Donna's doing right now? It reminds me of Tiny Tim from A Christmas Carol, right? God bless us, everyone. She's about to bring home the message of Christmas.
Was done by warrant. PC has already been found. I have reviewed the PC warrant. State, what is your recommendation for bond?
I believe this is a grand jury indictment, Judge. The true bill indicated there was a no bond on count 1.
Yeah, it must be so boring to be a judge sometimes, right? It's like, what is your recommendation for bond? And he knows, you can hear it in his voice, he knows that the answer is, we recommend no bond, which he's probably going to grant, right? She's still in Miami at the moment, folks. She's got to be transferred up to Tallahassee, where they lie and don't understand.
The murder of three, $25,000 bonds set on count 2 and 3. Obviously, no contact with
25 grand. Hey man, she'll write you a check right now for 25 grand. You might want to up it a bit. How about 25 million? Okay.
the victim's family. No contact, I suspect, also with any codependents.
Oh, micro expression change. Did you see that? She went from smile to somber.
There was a no bond on count 1. The murder of three, $25,000 bonds set on count 2 and 3. Obviously, no contact with the victim's family. No contact, I suspect, also with any codependents previously charged by state or witnesses listed in the probable cause affidavit.
Ms. Descalzo?
Your Honor, we would stipulate.
That's interesting, isn't it? You know, there's always something actually really character building about not having people that you depend on removed from you, you know. So she was depending on Charlie, she was depending on Harvey, and now there's well, I suppose she can still have contact with Harvey, but obviously not in the same way, and everything will be recorded. So essentially she's on her own, right? But certain personalities really thrive on that once they accept it, and they just go, okay, so this is me and I'm gonna have the power now. Okay, so jail me up, suckers. I'm an Adelson.
To no bond at this time without prejudice and the right to revisit with Judge Everett, which is the judge assigned to the case.
So Ms. Adelson,
Damn right he's assigned to the case. He's tucking in a napkin to his collar right now, his shirt collar, huge serviette down his judge robes. He's sharpening his knife and fork. He's getting ready to eat, and he's gonna eat this trial up, man. But man, was there ever a calmer judge? I only think he raised his voice once, and even at like sentencing, it was all just clinical, matter of fact, but strong. Really enjoyed his work as a judge. Can't wait to see him again. I do miss Judge Wheeler though, from Katie McBanowa's second trial. You know, I thought he was great as well.
Adelson, at this time, you're being held with no bond on count 1. Your bond will remain $25,000 on count 2 and $25,000 on count 3. As a condition of your bond, you'd have no contact with the victim's family. You'd have no contact with any co-defendants and no contact with any witnesses that are listed in the probable cause affidavit. Do you understand those conditions?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, that's it for this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's it.
Okay, so pretty basic, not much to see there, but we'll move on to her. What is this appearance? Let's have a look. I don't even know what you call it. It's not the first appearance, it's not the arraignment, but it's the one. This
Good
one.
morning, ma'am. Ma'am, you were arrested on a warrant from Leon County, Florida. The charges are public order crimes. It says attempted solicitation.
She looked way better in the red long V-neck, didn't she? What is this now? She looks like she's wearing a Halloween costume for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She is now playing the role of Donatello. Oh, where's Shredder? Okay, yeah. And that arm, for weeks, I couldn't. I wasn't sure if that was her arm or part of the clothing. But you know, what happened to her plastic surgeon? You know, face all done, wrists all done, but the upper arm, I think, have they taken the fat from her face and just put it on her arm or something? What is with that? horrible. I mean, she is 73, so, you know, but it's just funny because I bet she usually covers that arm up because she's so vain, right?
Conspiracy to commit a capital felony, homicide, willful, it says homicide, but maybe attempted homicide, I'm sorry. Attempted solicitation or
I think this judge is just taking the piss, man. What does that say? Homicide? Attempted homicide? she's just like messing with her head. And when she gets onto the plane, like, did I see you on the plane? Let's play it out. It's only a short video.
conspiracy to commit homicide. It looks like 2 counts of that. So your attorney is here. Ms. Descalzo, anything you want to say?
Good morning, Your Honor. Marissa Descalzo on behalf of Donna Adelson. We are going to waive extradition to Leon County.
It's an in-state warrant, which means, so basically you have a warrant from Leon County. It sounds like really serious charges. They have up to 15 days to come and pick you up. The reset date here is November 29th to make sure you get picked up. So Ms. Descalzo, what you can do is reach out to Leon County.
Oh, that was rough, isn't it? That really, if Marissa Descalzo was representing me, I would be like, listen, lady, you just waived extradition, and we don't even have the right to do that. Check your notes, come back when you know what the hell you're doing, and make sure you get it right next time. I think this is one of the reasons that when we get to Tallahassee, when we get to Leon County Courthouse, Marissa Descalzo is just like, gloves off, baby. I'm going to talk 1,000 miles an hour and go punchy, Miami punchy.
Prosecutor's office there and see if they'll agree to a bond. If they do agree to a bond, you're welcome to contact Ms. F. She can send you a sample order we use. And with that order, we can sign.
Judge, I think it's unlikely there's going to be an agreement on this.
What's the solicitation case? Anyway. Okay, so you want to hear something funny though? She looks like a lady that was on my airplane yesterday.
Isn't this like the bit in the movie where the twist happens and then it cuts to the judge on the plane and, you know, Donna Adelson's kicking up a fuss because there's no more seats left in first class, and she only booked a ticket for coach because she was late or something, and she was guaranteeing herself that she'd be upgraded, but now she has to sit next to the judge. There was just this eerie silence. There was this look in her eye where she said, you know something funny? She looks like she was on my plane. And then, of course, because Donna was arrested at the airport trying to get on a plane, there's this moment of Donna going, what is she saying? Is she making fun of my arrest?
She can send you a sample order we use. And with that order, we can sign.
Judge, I think it's unlikely there's going to be an agreement on this.
What's the solicitation case? Anyway. Okay, so you want to hear something funny though? She looks like a lady that was on my airplane yesterday. Did you come in from Paris?
I did not. I wish.
She looks like a lady who was on the airplane with me, for real. And I'm sorry you're going through all this. They have 15 days to pick you up. The reset.
Like, Marissa Descalzo jumped on that as if the judge was talking about herself, Marissa, right? But I'm certain she's talking about Donna. You know, she looks at Donna. Just another strange little thing that happens in this case. I mean, what a case, guys. We need a short list. We need to build a list. I got to get back onto the website. Oh, man, I have to pay the server company. They took it down. All my work. Anyway, we've got that coming out soon, guys. To make sure you're subscribed and join us on socials, because there'll be updates about that coming on socials. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, friggin' Discord. We've got the lot. Remember, guys, to like, share, leave a comment, especially like the video, and subscribe to the channel.
Reset date's November 29th, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you. That's it for that. Okay. Anyway, let's go. Jerry.
See, Donna's already having a pretty good time, I think. Man, fighting to get through this chat here, guys. Gotta put up, at least put them all up on screen. Just want to get to the end before we move on. So while we're doing that, guys, remember to leave a like on the video, share, leave a comment, subscribe. Did everyone see all of our wonderful content? Check it out. Where is it? Yeah, check that out, guys. What a library. Let's get some more subscribers tonight, guys. You know, we are putting out content. This is just in the last few weeks. And look how colorful it is. It's like all the colors of the rainbow. Oh, look. Yeah, we've got loads of Adelson content. We've got some other cases. We've got a full playlist of all of Wendy's testimonies. We've got another full playlist, actually two, because we've revisited the series of Wendy Talks to Ison. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a commentary of her entire interview. Yeah, I definitely want to subscribe to a channel like that, huh? You know? I mean, why not? Hours of fun. We did the math the other day, guys. And in the last month, if you added up all the watch hours, you know, the time that people have watched our content, and just let it play on one video, it would play for 5 years constantly. How nuts is that? Okay, let's get back to business. Okay. So here's Marissa Descalzo kicking it up into 6th gear. Oh, audio problem. Yeah, sometimes it does that when we switch tabs, you know. So let's just share screen again. And it's this one. Okay, just someone let us know in the comments if we've got audio now.
All right.
And if it's good, is it about the same level as my voice? Because we love it when it's about the same level. How annoying is that? You know, when you're listening to something and the video that's playing is quiet, but the commentator is really loud and you have to turn it up and down. Oh, I hate that. So we always want good levels, guys.
Session, the Honorable Judge Stephen Everett presiding.
Good afternoon. Everyone can be seated.
Judge.
Thanks, Udi.
Before we get going, I'm going to log into Zoom. I believe Ms. Kappelman, the alleged victim's family, is waiting to view the proceedings on Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor.
Look at that look on Marissa's face. There she is. Kappelman, my arch nemesis. I love how Georgia's got blonde hair and Marissa's got dark hair, you know. And I like blonde and dark hair. It doesn't matter, but you know, if you're gonna have two characters that are good and evil, let's make one the Golden Witch and one the Black Gold Witch.
All right, let me get signed in. And from there, we'll get started.
You see that sheriff's deputy right there? I mean, it's got to be right. 98% of the time, she has the most boring job in the world, right? Oh my God. But every so often, a case like this will walk into your career and you get to be front and center. You know, how many views has this video had on the Law and Crime Network? This sheriff's deputy must be famous right now, you know?
All right, we're here this afternoon in State of Florida versus Donna Adelson, 2023 CF 3226. Counsel of record as to each party may make their appearances.
Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Catherine Dugan for the state.
Marissa Descalzo on behalf of Donna Adelson, who's present in court and seated to my left.
Wow, you know, I repeat that line to myself all the time when I'm walking the dog or, you know, and in my head, it's about 400 times faster than that. That sounded like normal pace speaking compared to what I remember and what it had become in my brain and in my repetition. You know, I think I add speed every time I do it, you know. My name is Marissa Descalzo. I'm seated representing Donna Adelson, who is seated present in court and seated to my left. Maybe she is just normal. Maybe it's all my imagination. I guess we're going to find out, guys, together, right here, now.
Mr. Pimentel, Mr. Toomey, go ahead.
Greg Toomey, Your Honor, for both the Sheriff's Office and, yes, Sheriff, medical provider in jail.
Sheriff's Office General Counsel James Finney.
All right. For everyone that is observing on Zoom, please do not interfere with the hearing. Of course, you may observe as to everything that takes place. Mr. Descalzo, I've reviewed your emergency motion to enjoin the jail. Is there any further argument or testimony that you wish to take in support
Are the Markels on Zoom? I think they are, right?
of your motion?
Your Honor, I'll just add to supplement to my motion, which was filed last week, that we are now on day 22 of direct observation. Mrs. Adelson continues unable to participate in her defense. She's not permitted any papers. I cannot mail her anything. I did have a call with her on Friday, but only because Mrs. Kappelman facilitated it for me. And
yeah, lady, you know how you can speak with your client? You can travel to Tallahassee, right? Now, we know that you're from Miami and you hate the smell in Tallahassee and you hate the winding roads and you need a grid system and a downtown area and South Beach and Yardbirds and sushi restaurants. We know all that, okay? But your client is on trial for her life. You've got to go up there. You've got to stay in Tallahassee a couple of weeks. Then maybe she'll be off direct observation. They're only on direct observation because she made suicide threats. If you send her papers, she could use those papers to slash her wrists with paper cuts. You know, it's on recording and we're doing it for her protection. So if you want to see your client, the door is open. Well, not open. You know, you have to, go through security, but you can see your client. So all of this outrage is just so easily put down on by the people who are representing the jail and the guys that we just saw there. It's so funny. It's just such a non-argument, but that she's making, you know. Oh, she can't adequately prepare for her defense. We need a mistrial immediately.
on that call, it was not a private call. Ms. Adelson was forced to put me on speakerphone with guards listening. There is just no way that Mrs. Adelson can prepare for her defense in this manner.
All right, there is one
Oh,
question.
did you see that? Devil eyes. Almost like she's trying to put a spell on the prosecutor. My God. That was a look that could kill.
Guards listening. There is just no way that Mrs. Adelson can prepare for her defense in this manner.
Whoa. Oh, baby. Jesus. I don't think I could make an expression that hard. You know? Wow. It's something else, right?
All right, there is one question that I had
specifically. Look at how unfazed Georgia is.
All right, there is one.
Okay, the look wasn't at Georgia, was it? It was at the representative who spoke a moment ago. I forget where his exact department, but you know, the guy who's going to come up and speak in a moment.
Question that I had specifically as to this issue, and I noticed within your pleading that you had quotes from your client and also some observations of what has been taking place with the correctional staff. Are you alleging that you have no ability to access your client or that there is limited contact with your client?
No, Your Honor, I'm not saying that there is no ability. The direct observations that are...
I'm not saying that there's no ability. I'm saying that if I want to see my client, that means that I will have to spend time in your smelly, dusty town, okay? And I need to have sushi every day, sushi or pizza, okay?
Contained within my motion.
I don't want to have fried chicken. I don't want to have grits. I don't want to have brisket and cornbread and friggin' collard greens, okay? Tallahassee, sushi and pizza, please.
Were not observed by myself, but Daniel Rashbaum, Charlie Adelson's attorney, had a visit with Charlie Adelson, and he was able to swap it out for Miss Donna Adelson the week of, I think, November 27th or 28th. So he was able to have that conversation with her in person.
I love Daniel Rashbaum. He's like, yeah, I've got an appointment with Charlie, but there's probably no more money to be made from Charlie because he'll be doing life now. He's got no chance of appeal. I tell you what, I'll switch the appointment to someone who will need my services and I'll get another $1 million.
I've had a conversation with her, like I said, over the phone. I have been told that I can do a 60-minute increment visit with her in person. There is no video visitation ability. So I would say that
no video visitation ability. Hey, we've got 80 people in the stream, guys. Let's get some more likes on the video. Share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let's see if we can get to 3 figures today. That will be a first landmine for this channel, you know. We've never had 3 figures over 100 in a live before. We've had 91, I think. But let's go for 100 plus. Why not? And if anyone would like to find a way to help support the channel, because you know that would be great. There's super chat, super sticker on the stream in YouTube, or if you prefer, there's a link to buymeacoffee.com in the description for the video. Also a link to our social network presence, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord, right there in the description, guys. And there's also a link to our previous video on Donna Adelson, where she is arrested, the full video. So check that out.
my ability to meet with her is limited. It's not non-existent. However, my ability to share, for example, discovery, paperwork, the motion I filed with Miss Adelson is non-existent because she's not permitted to have paper.
Very well. We'll take up the other aspect of this in a moment, actually, which deals with the level of confinement and what is going on with it. Ms. Kappelman, does the state have any argument to make?
She's not allowed to have paper apart from her pajamas, which are made of paper, but really soft tissue paper.
concerning this matter?
The state would defer to Mr. Toomey, who's here to speak on those matters that I think you're addressing right now.
Yeah, you're not even worth George's time. She's going to defer to Mr. So-and-so. And yeah, she's barely going to get up. She's sort of leant on her armrests.
Mr. Toomey, who's here to speak on those matters that I think you're addressing right now.
Just love George's wardrobe as well. Where does she get those colors? You know? Is it Vivian Westwood? What is it? I don't know.
Very well. Mr. Pimentel, Mr. Toomey.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
As far as this particular issue goes, there is no impediment to her speaking with her lawyer, seeing her lawyer, over and above using a tablet. The tablet has a headset that can be used as a ligature. Otherwise, she's free to enter the jail. Chief Mack is here. He's assured me that they can have visit. I don't understand the problem that is perceived, but there is no impediment to an attorney-client visitation. Am I correct?
The first question, we'll have Chief Mack give some testimony so that way we have a clear record. But the level of confinement and also the current restrictions that are in place, are these because there were at some point statements alluding to self-harm during the jail phone calls?
And at booking here. When she was booked into the jail here, she made a statement that she wanted to die. Now, before she was arrested in Miami, she also had a phone call with her son, who's obviously in jail here. 25-minute phone call. I've personally listened to it. She very clearly spoke about a plan to kill herself using sleeping pills.
One moment, Ms. Adelson, please keep your comments to yourself. Let your lawyer argue on your behalf.
Man, if that is not a foreshadowing depiction of what we can expect, the kind of behavior that we can expect from Donna Adelson at trial, I don't know what is. You know, you think this courtroom means a good goddamn damn to her? It doesn't mean, it means nothing to her. You know, rules of court? What rules? I am Donna Adelson, fancy lady, okay? My God. It is going to be one hell of a ride, isn't it? What kind of coverage should we do, guys? Should we do live the entire trial, or bits and pieces at the end of each day? I don't know. Well, whatever we're going to do, it's going to be great, and everyone wants to subscribe to the channel because that's happening in what, 2 months?
Spoke of a plan to kill herself if she could not escape the country before arrest. That was known to the folks in this jail when she got here. That's why she's on watch. The mental health professionals see her every day. They are not satisfied that she's safe, and it's up to them to decide it.
I'll give you an opportunity to respond, Mr. Descalzo. Mr. Toomey, one more thing before we move on into taking Chief Mack's testimony.
Look at the way that she jumps up, you know?
Professionals see her every day. They are not satisfied.
I think she's got like 6 brothers, this Marissa Descalzo, right? Because she's a fighter, right? She's just a ballsy fighter. She's got at least 6 or 7 brothers that all used to pull her hair and take all the hot water in the shower, you know. Oh. Yeah, she looks like she could have a bar fight. Like if you hustled her at pool, she'd smash that pool cue right over your head.
That she's safe.
In front of a crowd, baby.
And it's up to them to decide it.
I'll give you an opportunity to respond, Mr. Descalzo. Mr. Toomey, one more thing before we move on into taking Chief Mack's testimony. Is there a specific procedure that the jail has for dealing with inmates with a threat of self-harm? Chief Mack, let me swear you in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, sir.
If you can explain to me what the procedure is, Chief Mack, and from there, Mr. Toomey, Mr. Pimentel, I'll allow you to direct Chief Mack on any other matters you believe to be pertinent. Go ahead, sir.
Man, Chief Mac. I love Chief Mac. I mean, if ever there was a man that loved barbecue, you know, just favorite meal, barbecue. Doesn't even matter what you're barbecuing. As long as it's prepared on a barbecue, this guy has got his plate ready.
Okay. Anytime anyone makes a statement or we get evidence of someone wants to actually harm themselves, they're placed on direct observation.
We soak the pork shoulder in apple cider, and it sweetens the taste.
Direct observation and receive a smock as well as a suicide blanket. And they're placed in an isolated room. It's just direct observation is what it really is. So we have a staff member outside the door that actually watches them around the clock, make sure they don't cause any harm to themselves.
When are the individuals who are under this status reevaluated for going back to general population?
That's done daily with yes care personnel.
Mr. Toomey, if you have any further examination for Chief Mack, I'll allow you to do so at this time.
Very briefly. Chief, is there a way for someone that's on suicide watch to have a direct visit with their lawyer?
Yes, we will pull the individual from the particular area that they're housed in and put them in an office with just the attorney. And
are there any remote capabilities for someone who is in the suicide or close watch observation wing?
Remote.
See, we're really getting to the point of the the meat and potatoes here, guys, right? The whole argument is about Marissa Descalzo traveling from Miami to Tallahassee, right? Which is, it's not an expense issue. They're not they're saying, listen, we can't afford to bring our lawyer up from Miami. I mean, again, I've said this 1,000 times about this case. These Adelsons need to hire a lawyer from Tallahassee who knows how to deal with Tallahassee people, Tallahassee jury, court staff, judges, because it's just amazing the difference in culture. I don't know if there's another 2 cities that are in the same state anywhere in America that are so different, right? It's just crazy. If you were in, I don't know, Jacksonville, and you were extradited to Reno, Nevada, there would be less of a cultural difference.
As far as phone calls, Zoom, tablets, things of that nature.
That person will be escorted to an office where we can actually see through the door, a glass window, and the officer will stand on the outside and just watch them.
And the beef ribs just fell off the bone.
On the outside.
And this is related to any concerns you have about self-harm.
Yes, that's because of we just keep constant view, keep them in vision, make sure that they don't do anything or pick up anything they can take back to the room and harm themselves later.
Mrs. Scalzo, do you have an examination for Chief Mack?
I do, Your Honor. May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you. Would you like me to proceed from here?
That's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chief Mackey, am I pronouncing?
Okay, y'all ready for this? Daniel Rashbaum had this issue as well. The impossibility of pronouncing anyone's name correctly and going round about it for a painful rotation and checking of, is it Mackie? McDonald, Mick, Mug? Is it Mug? Big Mac.
Pronouncing that correctly?
Mac.
Chief Mack. Chief Mack. Have you listened to this 25-minute?
Okay, that was relatively quick. Just wait until she gets to Dr. Zapp.
Call that Miss Adelson had before she was arrested?
Not in its entirety. I actually heard the portion where she was speaking of wanting to do a pact with her husband I'm assuming that's who individual was.
Chief Mack, do you participate in the decision on whether Ms. Adelson needs to remain on direct observation?
No, ma'am, that's a medical.
Okay, is the medical person that makes that decision a psychiatrist or another person?
That's Dr. Sapp.
So Dr. Sapp, is Dr. Sapp a psychiatrist?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if Dr. Sapp has examined Ms. Adelson?
She advised me that she spoke with her on different occasions or been around the area while another clinician was talking with her.
Well, how is Dr. Zapp?
Sapp.
How is Dr. Zapp? Zapp with a C, I'm sorry?
If you could spell it, Chief Mack.
SAPP. Zapp.
Zapp. So how is Dr. Zapp supposed to determine?
Donna's like, never heard of him. Never heard of this fictional Dr. Zapp. It sounds like a character from Dr. Zeus. You know, Dr. Zapp said to Zeus.
Whether Mrs. Adelson can be removed from direct observation if she doesn't evaluate her?
From what I was advised, she has evaluated her and also other members of her staff.
Chief Mack, would it surprise you if Dr. Zapp has not evaluated Mrs. Adelson at all?
I couldn't say that I wouldn't think that she would tell me something that wasn't true.
Do you have a report from Dr. Zapp establishing, I'm sorry.
I wouldn't take, because of HIPAA laws, I don't necessarily get involved with medical paperwork of that nature.
Chief Mack, did you come to court today knowing that you were going to testify about whether or not Mrs. Adelson was on direct observation or not?
I knew I was supposed to be here, but the extent, I can't say I was privileged to told that I was going to actually testify, but I was prepared if I did.
Okay. And Chief Mack, knowing that you had to come here today possibly to testify, did you inquire?
Hey, thanks so much, C. Malone, for the super sticker. Love the support, and thank you very much. You're supporting the channel, and we wish you well.
How many times Dr. Zapp had met with Mrs. Adelson?
I did not, because they actually see everyone that's on direct daily, and it's more than just Miss Adelson.
Chief Mack, are you aware that Dr. Zapp has never evaluated or met with Mrs. Adelson?
I can only go what I've been told.
Are you aware that Dr. Zapp doesn't exist and is a fictional character from a children's book?
Told by Miss Sapp.
Chief Mack, are you aware that Dr. Pugh is the only psychiatrist that has seen Mrs. Adelson, and that was on November 27th?
I didn't get that information as to who saw her. All I needed to know, or all I need to be privileged to, is that she needed to be on direct observation.
Chief Mack, do you have a list of all the times that Mrs. Adelson has been evaluated to determine whether she can be removed from direct observation?
Like I previously said, the only time I know they see them daily. And with that, I don't get any paperwork because I'm not a medical professional. I'm just making sure that her safety is taken care of.
Of course, Chief Mack, but just to be clear, I'm not asking whether you've seen any paperwork.
How could anybody be mad at Chief Mack? You know, he's like a gentle, barbecue-loving giant. You know, he's like a giant 5-year-old boy who's at his most happy, his happiest when, you know, he's just got a really good plate of buffalo wings with turkey wings, so they're really big.
I'm asking, in preparation for coming here today, were you advised how many times she had visits?
No.
Did you ask how many times she had been visited?
Not just knowing that she's being seen daily. I don't ask who actually saw her or what the conversation was pertaining to.
Chief Mack, if she is being visited daily, would there be a report of those visits?
Yes, it should be notes that they take.
To the daily.
Right.
Okay. And Chief Mack, if what you're saying
Yeah, right, Black Eagle. Poor Harvey. Black Eagle says, guys, poor Harvey paying top dollar for the top biatch. I mean, how weird would that be? These people, these Miami lawyers, you know, what they're really good at is finding desperate rich people and selling them, you know? This whole thing about Daniel Rashbaum saying to Charlie Adelson during trial, if you'd have told me that we'd be this far ahead 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have believed you. If I were to give you a score on how you did up there, I'd give you a 95. You know, it's all just filler to make the client happy, you know? It's like if you're a gourmet chef and the client says, "How is the brisket, Chief Mac?" You just tell Chief Mac that it's going really well, even if there's a disaster happening in the kitchen, right? Because, you know, he doesn't need to know that as the client, right? Yeah, these and then the whole Josh Dubin thing. What better? I'm really kind of got mixed feelings on this because if Josh Dubin, the jury selection expert that was brought in to select Charlie Adelson's jury, you know, obviously he wants to do kind of behavior and what is the word, you know, analyses of the jurors and find jurors that he wants to select that because he believes that they will be more amiable to giving his client a not guilty verdict, right? Which seems like a pretty simple business from what we heard of Charlie Adelson telling us about how that process was going, because he was like, oh yeah, well, you know, we had someone who was a cop come in, so we said no to them. That's what you paid $1 million for? If all Josh Dubin is doing is going around selling make-believe services to desperate rich people, I say have at it, man. Fill your pockets and fill your bank account and then move down to Miami and have sushi every day.
What you were told is correct. There should be a report from Dr. Zapp and from whatever clinician is.
88 people in the stream, guys, double digits. Let's get it up to 100. Like, share, leave a comment, and let the algorithm do its thing. You know, if we like the video while it's going on, you see, it puts it out to more people, I think. Doesn't that sort of make sense? It does in my mind.
Is meeting her daily, right? About the evaluation.
Yes, I would assume it is.
And Chief Mack, did you know that Mrs. Adelson was actually arrested in Miami?
Yes.
Okay. And did you know that she spent some time in jail in Miami?
Yes.
And did you know that she was there for about 5 days before she was transported to Leon County?
It should be something like that, yes.
And were you aware that she was at a county jail, very similar to the Leon County jail?
Well, I've never been to Miami's facility, so I can't tell you exactly what.
He's never been to Miami. You think Chief Mac wants a plate of sushi? No, he wants huge, huge ribs. You know, not even just beef ribs. What's bigger than a beef? What's bigger than a cow? You know, a dinosaur. Just, you know, plate of dinosaur ribs, huge bones.
What they do or what their policies are.
Okay. Chief Mack, were you aware that Mrs. Adelson was also on direct observation in Miami-Dade County for a period of time while she was there?
No, I didn't actually see any paperwork of it.
And Chief Mack, did anybody tell you, any of your clinicians tell you that actually Mrs. Adelson was evaluated by the same psychiatrist over a period of 72 hours in Miami, and she was released to general population?
I heard something of it, but I don't necessarily, I go by our contract provider when we doing anything in the MA health.
Who told you that she might have been evaluated in Miami and released to general population?
It was just something that was said. I think she may have spoken to an officer and said it.
Chief Mack, if she would have spoken to a clinician about that, you wouldn't know about that, right? Because that's HIPAA?
I wouldn't have known about it because I didn't speak to my clinicians. I just speak with them about Ms. Adelson in general.
What general conversations are you having about Mrs. Adelson with your clinicians, Chief Mack?
It's just how they evaluated her and where she is in her evaluation.
Okay.
If she's going to be released on a step down program or anything.
You know, I think Chief Mack missed an opportunity here with his time in the court. Hopefully he'll be brought back for trial, but I can't imagine he'll be, called as a witness or anything. But he's definitely missed an opportunity because you all know in the chat, as well as I know, that this guy makes his own special homemade barbecue rub, his special homemade barbecue sauce and dips, right? I can see the product in my mind on the shelves in the supermarket. Chief Mack's special barbecue rub, Cajun style, Southern fried style. I'm designing the label in my mind. I'm seeing the bottle. He should have done a product placement, at least had some flyers printed and leave them around the courthouse in official looking places. Free bottle of Chief Mack's special barbecue rub for steaks and sides.
Of that nature.
Okay, can you tell us generally what you have been told? What was her evaluation like? When will she be stepped down? What's happening?
That's something that they will tell me when that occurs, in the way of when she feels as though that Ms. Adelson is at that stage in the process. She will inform me of the step down process.
Who is she?
That's either of the yes care personnel. Normally, it's Dr. Sapp, Dr. Pugh, or Miss Smith, Miss Richardson, Corey Richardson.
Okay.
What's Marissa going to do with Smith now? Smithy? Smitty? Smith? Smith? Dr. Smith. So when Dr. Smith said to Dr. Zapp,
So it's Miss Richardson, Dr. Pugh, and Dr. Zapp. Those are the three people you're communicating with about Mrs. Adelson's treatment or step down process?
Periodically, I have
and that the reason, Marissa's problem is all about she's trying to impress Donna, right? The way that she's asking these questions. No one needs to talk to Chief Mack like that. If you've got something to ask Chief Mack, you take him out, you sit him down near a grill, start with an opener. Talk to him about herbs and spices, okay? Seasoning. Start the conversation off where he can relate to something, okay? And then go into these medical procedures later when he's relaxed and calmed down and the food's almost ready.
Captain that actually is over medical, but I go through medical frequently.
Okay. Chief Mack, what did you do to prepare for today's hearing?
I actually just looked at some of the notes, even read the allegations concerning what Ms. Adelson was actually, I think it was more your allegations of what occurred in the facility.
What notes did you review before you came here, Chief Mack?
Other than looking at event logs, pretty much that was the extent of it.
What are event logs?
Event logs, what the officers said.
Hey, Kim Casimiri. Yeah, I heard about the Patty's Playhouse. Kim says, guys, you are becoming huge. They commented on you on Roberta Glass and Patty's Playhouse. So do you mean we just showed up in the comments, or someone mentioned us in the video of the show? Because that would be a real... if someone mentioned us in the video of the show, that would be amazing. Comments. Yeah, I can see that happening because all you crazy guys in our stream, you go over there and you talk about true crime metrics. But if Roberta Glass herself mentioned me by name, that would be such an achievement for me. That would be really far out, man. I mean, totally. Anyway, we'll see. We'll get there. We'll get there. People will be coming onto this show commenting about them soon. You watch.
Actually on direct observation. And
not to discredit. Love you, Roberta, and love you, Patty.
documents what's happening while she's on direct observation.
Has there been anything that stood out to you in those event logs that the officers are leaving behind?
Mr. Descalzo, before this continues on, I want this to remain focused on the subject matter of the motion itself.
Yeah, Mr. Descalzo. I tell you what, as you are here, from Miami, and you're only here for a day, why don't we just have the entire trial now with no witnesses? We'll start with the arraignment and then go straight to a verdict without a jury. Motor mouth.
Oh, this is not.
Hey, thanks so much for the super sticker, Mary Bartlett. Thanks to you all you guys, for supporting the channel with the super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks, and link in the description to buymeacoffee.com where you can support the channel. Thanks, guys. You mean so much to us, and you warm our heart.
Deposition. If you have further examination, I'll allow you to finish.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chief Mack, are you aware that the only person that has been...
Oh, 94 people in the stream, guys. Remember to like, share, leave a comment, because we are breaking through to 100 viewers today, guys. That'll be a landmine for this channel.
Been communicating or evaluating Mrs. Adelson since the one time on November 27th that Dr. Pugh saw her is Miss Richardson?
I'm not aware of who all. I know Miss Pugh seen her once, twice. I'm not sure, but it's just I'm getting information from.
Yeah, Pueblo. Love the comment, man. Old Pueblo Hop says, Chief Mackey, are you aware this woman won a spelling bee contest 60 years ago? For the spelling bee was for 8th graders, but she was only in the 6th grade. Are you aware of that, Chief Mackey? Man, Maria Descalzo should go to a pronunciation contest.
My HSA and Dr. Sapp.
So to go back, you're saying Dr. Zapp has personally told you that Dr. Zapp has visited Mrs. Adelson?
She told me she was in the area with Miss Adelson. I don't know, because I wasn't present, as to what occurred during that meeting.
So what does it mean she's in the area? That she was around?
Yes, ma'am. That's what she advised me, that she was around.
Did you interpret that to mean that she evaluated Mrs. Adelson, or that she was around Mrs.
I
Adelson?
interpreted it as she being present in the area.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Mr. Toomey, and I redirect.
Perhaps two. Chief Mack, Ms. Richardson, is she a mental health counselor?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh, check that out, guys. I'm going to screenshot that. We've got 103. Got to play those numbers. That is a landmine breaker stone for this channel, guys. 104 now. It just keeps going up and up. Tell you what, get back on the Adelson case. And you know what time it is, right?
If there were notes regarding the interaction between mental health and the defendant in this case, where would those notes be?
I'm going to be in a medical file.
Recognize this document as her medical file. It's moving around a bit. It's been a day.
Yes, I would say that was a medical file.
All right. Do you know if anybody's asked for these besides me?
No, sir.
That's all good.
Chief Mack, you may take your seat. Mr. Toomey, the place I did want to start with there being a
So this is interesting, Rabbit. A smidgen of Southern phrasing for you, Metrix. Chief Mack would be Creole. Born on the US continent, not Cajun, who are from Canadians after fleeing France. Okay. What's Cajun? That's not a Southern thing? Okay. Well, I thought it was. You know, it's even in that it's Cajun spices. All right. Good.
a procedure in place is to assure that this is not random or arbitrary. Is there a procedure with regard to inmates with self-harm concerns or direct observation?
There is. It's standard in each and every jail. It is that until a mental health counselor or another mental health provider, like a psychiatrist or psychologist, is assured that person does not possess or present a risk of self-harm, then they stay on that status. And they figure out where that status is by charting daily. A mental health counselor sees her.
Have you been able to provide a copy of either the policy or the patient file to Ms. Adelson's attorney?
I haven't been asked. I can tell you, before this motion was written, no one has asked for these medical records because I am the final arbiter in this state for this client. I decide whether the records are going out.
Very well. Moving on to the second issue.
I am the final arbiter in this state, guys. Wow. I wonder where he eats lunch. Not in Tallahassee, I can assure you.
That this raises, Ms. Descalzo, there is a very specific separation of powers issue that this poses for the court. The sheriff runs the jail. I run my courtroom.
It's a pity Georgia doesn't have much to say in this procedure, because I think she's just loving this. You know, this is like a little early birthday present for her, right? Because she's just watching. She loves that she's got Donna. Before, you know, she must have been the one that said, right, go and get her, guys. She's on a plane. She thinks she's going to Vietnam. Go and get her. Bring her to me. Bring her to my house, my courtroom. So she's already feeling like she's won something, right? Thwarted the escape attempt to the non-extradition company, and now she's got Donna and her little warrior mouse lawyer here in to try and tie Tallahassee in knots, confuse all the departments and the separation of powers, and then escape into the night and off to Vietnam. But it's not going to happen. But George is not even having to do anything because Chief Mack is here to tell us what's cooking.
The DCAs have been fairly clear when it comes to the court essentially directing medical care, what goes on in the facility. It's basically a no-no without an actual violation of the Constitution. What is my authority to actually step in the situation and give you what you're asking for?
Your Honor, I believe that there has been a violation of the Constitution here. There is, Miss Adelson and I have not been permitted to talk behind this glass wall that they're speaking of. The first time we spoke was Friday. She was on speakerphone. I was on speakerphone.
Credit's all yours, Albert. Yeah, mention away. Tell us what, you know, we're actually looking into the feasibility of how that might work. Because I would love so much more to be in Leon County Courthouse for Donna Adelson's trial. I would love that more than being in, I think it's Orange County for Sarah Boone. I think everyone would need a brain transplant after being at Sarah Boone's trial. I don't think it's going to be a very long trial, guys. I think the jury, straight after opening statements, are going to say, listen, there's no point in going on with the rest of this procedure. We have the verdict. We've heard her opening statement that she gave on her own behalf, and we want to tell you that she's guilty now. So please don't make us sit here and listen to this woman for 2 weeks.
Phone, and she was sitting with a guard seated next to her. And the only way that that call was facilitated was because Miss Georgia Kappelman was nice enough to call the jail and arrange it. I have called the jail repeatedly over the past 22 days, begging to be permitted to either speak to Mrs. Adelson or for Mrs. Adelson to speak to me, and no one responds. As to Mr. Toomey's response that nobody has called him, nobody has asked him for records, I tried calling the.
You know what this is Donna Adelson has said, listen, Marissa Descalzo, you're working for us now. You're on retainer. You've got your fucking money. Now, where's my bond hearing? And Marissa Descalzo is now, this is her response to her client complaining about her, right? She's like, oh, you want me to show balls? You want me to show like barroom brawl balls? Here you go. I'm going to stick it to them in the courtroom. Donna Adelson's not buying it. You can just tell. She's like, oh God. Okay, you want to look feisty and impress me. Well, you're not impressing me, so you might as well shut up. But I'm going to let this play out because, you know, it's more interesting than sitting on suicide watch in my paper pajamas.
General counsel's office repeatedly in the past week to try to resolve this issue. I understand what's being said today in court, and like I said in my motion, I'm not trying. I understand that there's separation of powers, and I understand that the court is limited in what they can do in directing the jail. But I think that one thing that Your Honor can do is, you have heard that the jail, and Mr. Toomey said he's the arbiter in the state. All jails run the same. The jail in Miami-Dade County cleared Mrs. Adelson, a psychiatrist, a mental health professional that works for the state, that works for the Department of Corrections, has said that she is not required to be on direct observation. She comes here and all of a sudden that changes. So I feel that there's some sort of disconnect. And I think that there needs to be a third party evaluating her to make the determination. And I think that that's not an unreasonable ask. That's something that the jail can accept. And I think the state is not opposed to that. So that's what I'm asking the court, to allow me to bring in my own mental health professional to evaluate Mrs. Adelson and make a determination whether or not she is a suicide risk, or for the jail to accept the determination or speak to the jailers in Miami-Dade County that observed her and made a completely different determination about her mental state.
Mr. Toomey and Mr. Pimentel, what administrative remedies are actually available to inmates absent the court stepping in?
Well, that is a key question when it comes to injunctions. That's
Yes.
There are two means. First, that there's a grievance procedure in the jail that can and must be followed. Second, there is always civil.
I quite like listening to this guy because he's not a lawyer, right? I'm not even sure that he's government. He might be, but he definitely speaks a lot more like private sector. You know, he speaks like an executive, right? It's not done in lawyer speak. You know, he's not, you know, Georgia Kappelman or any good attorney knows how to speak to the judge in a certain way. You know, there's a certain language and phraseology that's used in a courtroom in those communications, you know. But this guy is much more hard business, and it's refreshing. It's refreshing to see, and it's appropriate, you know. in this matter. So it's yeah, nice diversity of characters we have going on in this case already, and it's not even begun, guys. 2 months. Subscribe to the channel. Don't miss one day of this. Look at all our content. Look at all our fantastic content. Where's our content? So colorful. I just love looking at it. Yeah, there's the video that we're watching now, and there's all our other stuff. Subscribe to the channel and spend your entire life watching us. Where's the good video? There's a link in the description to this one, guys. That's the full commentary of Donna Adelson's arrest. I guess we're going to build a playlist on that soon. Oh, check it out. We've got loads of those too. Loads of those too. We've got the whole Wendy interview series, Sarah Boone, Chris Watts. Yeah, it's not just the Adelson case we covered, guys. We do other things as well. So, you know, while we've got so many people on board, more than 100, go and subscribe to the channel and check us out. You know, you never know. You never know. We could be your new favorite channel.
Suit, either in this courthouse or the fancy courthouse up the street. So there are legal avenues in place.
The fancy courthouse up the street. That's where the Markels were passing the Markel Act, right? And is that it's a bit he's talking to the judge while he's in his courthouse, right? And now he's saying either this courthouse or the fancy courthouse up the street, not this shitty one that you've got here, Judge. You know, was that polite?
Always civil suit.
See what I mean? This guy's way more hard-nosed business, man. No legal speak with this guy.
Either in this courthouse or the fancy courthouse up the street. So there are legal avenues in place that preclude the entry of an injunction. There was something that was just said. I am not the arbiter for the state. I am for this client in the jails that they have in this state when it comes to sending out the medical records. It's either by release or by subpoena.
So are all your prisons in the States being privatized too, department by department? Yeah, okay. We're going to put the guy who deals with the medical records, we're going to put it out to this blue chip company. And yeah, the guy that deals with the safety procedures, all that's going to be farmed out over there. So they're essentially, the jails are becoming privately run, bit by bit, right? At least they are in the UK.
The authority is there.
Mr. Pimentel, do you have anything further to argue on behalf of the sheriff?
Your Honor, I need to put something on the record first. James Pimentel, General Counsel of the Sheriff's Office. I've been Sheriff McNeil's General Counsel for almost 7 years now. I've never heard from this attorney. I haven't heard from anyone representing this defendant. Any assertion, sir, that they've attempted to contact the Office of General Counsel. I have a paralegal. I have email. I've never been contacted by this defendant or this defendant's counsel.
Very well. I'm going to make my findings as follows. As to the issue of there being a Sixth Amendment violation where there is no access by Ms. Adelson to counsel of record, I cannot find that. However, Ms. Adelson being able to confer with counsel privately, Mr. Toomey, Mr. Pimentel, is there an ability to make accommodation?
So I gotta go and look into this Cajun Creole thing, guys. The last thing I want to do is be walking into a Brunswick barbecue house, smokehouse, and say, yeah, I'd like the Cajun, I'd like the Cajun catfish.
For that, even in the observation wing.
Yes, Your Honor, there is. Chief Mack and I will work to ensure that we have a protocol, Your Honor.
Very well. What I would ask you to do then is please speak with defense counsel as to what accommodations can be made so she can visit with counsel privately as she prepares for her case. Obviously, there's a very voluminous amount of discovery that's already been provided by the state. Is that correct, Ms. Kappelman?
Yes, Your Honor.
She is going to need to be able to speak in private with her attorney and go through all documents, all records, all manner of evidence that the state is seeking to use as a part of its case in chief. Does she have ability to use either a computer or some form of multimedia while in direct observation?
Your Honor, she wouldn't be able to do it while in the direct observation cell, but we would make it.
Wow, this Cajun thing has really taken off, huh? This is really interesting, guys, and I never knew this, and I love knowledge. So the Cajuns are Huguenots, Rabbit says, originally from France, who fled religious discrimination. First went to Canada, then had to flee against the Louisiana and southern shores. It's a different culture from Creole. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna put on some documentary or something with the full story of this. I love the knowledge. Thanks for bringing it to the channel, guys. You see, that's what I love about this channel. You start off making a video about Donna Adelson, and by the end, not only are we launching a fantastic range of custom homemade Chief Mac barbecue condiments, but we're also learning a lot about the history of Cajuns and Huguenots and Creole and everything. I think it's fantastic, guys. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power.
Accommodations through security to make that occur.
Very well. According to the policy that you already have in place, when will her status as residing in direct observation be revisited?
Every day, Your Honor, on a daily basis.
Right, Mr. Descalzo, as to issuing an injunction against the jail, I do not believe I have the authority to do so. The District Court of Appeal rulings, and I'm specifically going to cite to Bradshaw versus Sandler. This is found at 955 Southern 2nd, 1219, 4th DCA case from 2007. That specifically dealt with a trial court who ordered a defendant to be taken to a dentist of his choosing. Similar, by analogy, for me to allow
A dentist of his choosing. Was it the Adelson Institute of periodontics and aesthetic dentistry? I mean, why would he bring up dentists? Judge Everett, what are you doing, man?
Miss Adelson to be seen by a psychiatrist or psychologist that is a third party is stepping on the separation of powers in that regard. Until there's been an exhaustion of remedies with regard to whatever internal procedure is available for her to avail herself of regarding grievances or other matters with the jail, an injunction is not something that I can entertain at this point. Did you wish to be heard further?
No, Your Honor, not on this topic.
Ms. Kappelman, did you have anything further you wish to argue on behalf of the state?
So shut down then. What could she have said? Did you wish to be heard further? As far as I got that, the judge said, I'm not going to allow you to see a psychiatrist of your choosing that you can just pay for any result that you want, brackets, because you need to exhaust the official procedure of filing grievances and complaints, if necessary, with the jail, the procedures they have in place. If I step in, I'm stepping on some other boss's toes, right? Which I'm not going to do. And what could Marissa Descalzo have said then? She should have had a backup. She should have anticipated that answer and known exactly what she was going to say. You know, that's what the Adelsons are looking for in an attorney, and they just haven't found it yet. Dan Rashbaum was so bad at his job. I could not believe that was the guy that Charlie Adelson hired as his attorney. Unbelievable. I was expecting him to have, we'd already seen Christopher DeCoste do a very good job. Loads of content on our channel page about Christopher DeCoste in his representation of Catherine Magbanua, guys. Check that out. So shut up. Yeah, check that out because it's fantastic. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I was expecting Charlie Adelson to have a really good lawyer. I was expecting to see the courtroom fly into fireworks with Georgia Kappelman as this great lawyer came in and defended Charlie Adelson. And now that's all said and done. Friggin' Donna Adelson, his mother, has got the same sack of shit guy. Kind of looking forward to it again, though. I think his style of defending is more appropriate for the defense that will be necessary in Donna's case rather than Charlie's case. Sympathetic, this sort of thing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. 2 months, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Don't miss a beat.
Right, Mr. Toomey, Mr. Pimentel, and Chief Mack, if you can get with defense counsel, I think that will eliminate next time the need to have any hearings on a basis such as this. Obviously, Ms. Adelson.
Yeah, that will eliminate the need to waste everyone's time. Imagine the expense involved just in this little 30-minute hearing. Everyone's got to arrange it and travel and take time off and move their calendars. Just the logistics of sorting out a hearing like this for something that wasn't going to go anywhere. Unbelievable.
Wants to prepare for her trial. She is entitled to do so, but the sheriff runs the jail. I fully recognize that, and I respect that. Do you wish to be heard further?
Nothing further.
Right, let's move on to the matter of the arraignment. Also, why we were here this afternoon as well.
Excuse me?
You are excused.
Your Honor, before they're excused, I would like them to provide me, their business card so that I may contact them. Thank you.
That's fine.
I love that he was already going to give her one. He was prepped. I would like them to provide me. Yeah, okay, thank you.
I wrote to you on LinkedIn because I couldn't find you anymore. Right.
Hi, Kurt. Thanks so much for the super sticker and welcome to the show. Great to see you. I know I saw you came in earlier, but it's been so busy in the chat today, guys, with our over 100 viewers on the show tonight. Bosh. Thank you so much, Kurt. That's really helpful to the channel, and we appreciate it a lot.
As to the matter of the arraignment, does your client waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
How does she plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Not guilty plea is entered for the record. While we're here, we might as well have a brief case management as well. Ms. Kappelman, I believe you stated you've already provided discovery to the defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Descalzo, realistically, how much time do you think it's going to take you to go through what you've already received?
Your Honor, as long as I have access to Mrs. Adelson, as has been stated here in court, and she
Thanks so much, Niti. You're a star.
has access to be able, as you know, there's recordings in this case, and as long as she's able to listen to them and we're able to listen to them together, we plan to proceed to trial promptly.
Very well. I was thinking of when another case management date would be good to kind of keep a good status of this as far as where it's moving. Is February too early, or would you prefer March?
No, Your Honor, I'd like earlier. I don't, as long as I can communicate with Ms.
Remember, this video is from back in January, guys. Well, actually, No, that's wrong, is it? It's last year. Oh, I can't remember. When was it? Oh no, I think it was like the beginning of January. So she's already been in for a couple of months.
Mrs. Adelson, I'm happy to have a status in January, if that works for the court and the state.
Ms. Kappelman?
Yes, sir. I'll be available in January.
I definitely don't want to push too hard, too fast, but once we get locked into a trial date, absent there being good cause, we're really not going backwards. So I want you to give me realistic estimates as far as how much time it's going to take to prepare. As far as any depositions that you're already aware of that you are going to take in this matter.
See, Marissa Descalzo was thinking, maybe Georgia Kappelman had to arrest Donna prematurely before she was fully prepared because Donna was getting on the plane. So if we go for an early case management date and get trial moved up right to a speedy trial, maybe we'll be more prepared than the state. Well, that might be great, but you forgot one thing, lady. You're dealing with Georgia Kappelman here. She has lived and breathed this case for close to 10 years. Okay? 8, I think she's been running it. She knows this case better than she knows her own face. Okay? It's just every wall in her house is a whiteboard with notes about the case. You know, she could win this standing on her head.
Or have you identified those? Have you noticed any?
No, Your Honor, because I have not been able to discuss that with Mrs. Adelson.
Very well. We'll pick back up with this then in January for status. Cheyenne, if you could give me
The only way that you could catch Georgia Kappelman underprepared to win this case is if you traveled back in time before the murder took place and then had Donna arrested at that point for a murder that hadn't happened yet. Then, okay, Georgia Kappelman would have no notes.
dates for January. All right, we'll put it on January 9th. I believe that's Ms. Dugan's docket date. January 9th at 2:30. You may appear by Zoom if you need to. And we'll readdress the matter then. Does either party have anything further to address concerning case management, at least for today?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
We are in recess. For everyone on the Zoom, I am about to turn it off. That was the conclusion of the hearing. Have a good afternoon.
I'll give it to you. I know they say it's on the line of observation. Okay? That's how you do it. Okay? And I'm going to figure out what's happening. Did you
This is not an announcement.
Hey, thanks so much, Rabbit. One of our core contributors, guys. Yeah. Making up for all these other freeloaders who just take. That's fine, guys. As long as you like and share and leave a comment, that's contribution enough. If you want to support the channel financially, you can leave a super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. And there's a link in the description to buymeacoffee.com where you can help support the channel and help us get that great equipment. We got some new equipment yesterday, guys. We just need to unpack it, work out how to use it, and then we're going to be using it on the show to bring you better streams. Even better streams. Better than this? How is that possible, you ask? Well, you'll have to wait and see. But we have great plans, guys. Great plans.
Deputy Bone, you can give him 5 minutes, but then we need to shut.
Okay, so that was the end of that. I think that's all the Donna Adelson court appearances there are to date, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Oh, we're almost at the end of the comments. Man, it has been hard to get through these comments today, but we love it. We love how busy the chat is. And we've only managed to read out a few comments. Now, if I haven't read your comment out, guys, don't worry. It's not because we didn't like it here at True Crime Metrix. It just whizzed past us so quickly. I'm trying to put them all up with a kind of sensible enough time that people might be able to read them if they want, but it's tough. It's tough to get through. Oh, Dispatcher 187 was the 10,000. Well, that'll be great, but you'll have to travel into the future to be the number 10,000. We're only at 1,000 and something. But that's a good achievement, and we've had more than 100 people in the stream tonight, guys. At the same time, there's probably 200 because people come and go, right? It's a long stream. People are busy. They have lives. They have kids. They have jobs. They have pizza restaurants to go to, sushi restaurants to go to, barbecue rubs to make homemade with Chief Mac. Oh, man. Can you imagine what Chief Mac is having for dinner tonight? I bet it's tasty. What should we look at now, guys? I was thinking about maybe doing a Jailhouse call with Charlie and Donna, just keeping it on topic, just at random, any call. What are people thinking about that? Or does anyone have a suggestion for another video that we could cover? We don't mind. We don't mind if we haven't seen it. We're thinking on our feet. No prep metrics over here. If anyone's got a request, other than that, we're going to go straight ahead to a Donna Charlie Jailhouse call, unless someone comes up with something real quick. Yeah, Hildy, I love that as well. About Hildy says what she loves about Georgia Kappelman is how she has such nice logical arguments. Yeah, and breaks it down into bite-sized chunks, right? Just love it. And the jury love it. But you know what? That's because she's from Tallahassee and knows how to speak to an audience of her peers. But really, she's speaking to the whole world right now, and she knows it. She knows it all too well. Hey, welcome to the family, Cheraz. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, guys, I think we'll go on to a Jailhouse call. Why not? But just before then, guys, for all you people out there that are not yet subscribed to the channel, check out what you're missing. Just check out what you're missing. Check out our great channel with all that content that you can have for free. Look, and it's not just the Adelson case we cover. We got Chris Watts, we got Gabby Petito, we got Michael Draker, Catherine Magbanoa trial, Sarah Boone, that's coming up in October, representing herself because she's been through 8 or 9 attorneys and they can't stand her. We've got the full Wendy Talks to Isom interrogation series. Check that out. 4 parts. If you like long form content about true crime cases, guys, I think this is the channel for you because all of our videos are super long. We want to start doing more short form content soon and some stuff that's not live as well. And I'm going to get an isolation chamber to put my snoring dog in when we're streaming because it's just so distracting for me, you know. This is a good one. Christopher DeCoste. Yeah, we're going way back now. There's a link to this one, the Donna Adelson arrest, full video with commentary in the description for this video. Everyone should check that out. Yeah, there it is. And look, there's our very first video, only 6 months ago. And Rabbit and Udi have been here since that video. Talk about die-hard fans, guys. Anyway, let's check out this Donna Charlie call. Why not, huh?
Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from an incarcerated individual at the Leon County Jail. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To accept charges and consent to this recorded call, press 1. To thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Charlie?
Hey, yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, that's all I care about. So,
Did I wake you guys up?
no. I've been up since 3:30. You could have called 3 hours ago. No, you did not wake
All
up.
right.
So I just
Other
saw the time and
than 4.
I figured, and I was just worried because you never call at this hour. But if you're okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
No,
Did you
I'm just,
get any sleep last night?
yeah, I slept till 4.
Yeah.
And,
What happened?
well, actually, I woke up before breakfast came. Breakfast came at like 4:30.
A late day.
What is this thing in the jails where breakfast comes at 4:30? I mean, is that just to mess with people's heads or what?
Yeah,
I guess he's got the light on in his cell the whole time as well, right?
it's come literally as early as 3:45.
I know. I wonder if it depends. You always say, they have a lot of people to bring to. I always wonder if it's the pod you were in, if that's the
It just
reason.
depends if who's they don't. Everyone doesn't get breakfast at the exact same time. It goes out on carts at 8, I guess.
Yeah.
They move the cart into the pod, and then you get trays from the cart.
Sure.
Like trays. What do you call it? I was listening to the radio,
Yeah.
and is Dad sleeping?
He's sitting with me. We're doing paperwork at the table. Trust me, right here.
Good morning.
So you're listening to the radio and what, honey?
I was listening to the radio, and I guess what Dan filed yesterday, the reporting on the news, is like breaking news. Like, all it was
It's been all over the TV and everything since he filed it.
yeah, I mean, it's just basically, he said that one of the jurors said that the members of the jury.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dispatcher 187, who says that they like pancake and bacon and eggs at any time of the day. In jail, the eggs are made of synthetic material. The bacon is faken. And the pancakes, how do they make the pancakes? Well, I think it's just a piece of bread soaked in powdered milk and then fried in, I don't know, baby oil. I don't think any time of the day, even if a prison breakfast arrived at an appropriate hour, I think it'd still be bad. That'd be one of the worst things for me about a life sentence, sitting in the place with all the violence and the crazy shit going on. You can sound that out, but never being able to have like even a simple thing. I'm not even talking about a good meal, but like a really nice glass of orange juice, fresh orange juice. You're never going to have that again, Charlie. All you're going to have is bad tasting water and that disgusting, like, what do you call it? Black currant cordial syrup, but a really bad one again.
Gave each other their cell phone numbers to have a group chat,
Right,
before the deliberations began.
right.
So they basically just exchanged phone numbers. Okay, big deal.
Oh, I should take down the chat, Rabbit? Okay. Or can I move it? Hang on. How do I do that? I have no idea. Okay, I can take it down, sure.
Exchanged phone numbers. Those meetings that they asked the judge to look into it, and the state said they didn't want to. The state objected, and then whatever will happen, will happen. But like,
Did Dan explain to you that, yes, the court looks into it, but what he can do and intends to?
yeah, I guess they can look into it too if they want to.
Yes. And even if messages are erased, they can get them.
Right, but it's like, it got reported at 6 o'clock in the morning, like breaking news, like, holy shit, like they follow this case like it's their fucking life.
Yeah. Well, it was reported within 14 or 15 hours before that.
It was reported yesterday afternoon, but I'm saying it's like it's being broadcast on the 6:30 a.m. news, like it's like.
Well, what other news do they have up there? It is what it is.
Well, what other news do they have up there in Tallahassee where nothing happens? Well, it's the state capital of Florida. I bet they have some news. It's so funny in these conversations how they're still doing this, like, just pathological hatred for Tallahassee,
It is what it is. I'm just saying, I only, for many, for multiple reasons, I just feel like I just have to work.
I know, honey. I do. I really do know. But yeah, you knew, you just didn't know that it was that it could become anything could be like that.
No, but it's what I knew it was going to be before I even got up here. It was exactly what I fucking said it would be, and I had everybody in the world telling me, no, you're gonna get a fair trial. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be that. Like they're gonna make sure. Like you know what? It was exactly what I said it was going to be. I knew exactly where Bray and Roman were gonna go. I saw that happening. I saw what happening to me was gonna happen. I saw the train coming, and I knew I wasn't.
Where did Bree and Roman go? He said he knew exactly where Bree and Roman go. Does anyone know what that means?
I knew they were going to do whatever they wanted to do, that I didn't stand a fucking chance. I mean, Dan worked so hard on everything, like so prepared. Like he told me that in 20-something years, he's never worked this hard on a case ever for anything he's ever had. Like he was like, he said if he hangs, he'll be upset.
Yeah, he's never worked this hard on a case or managed to con his way into these wealthy crooks like he did here. And, or been paid so much money for one case. It's never happened.
He said, this is not, he said, I'm not looking to hang. A hang is not a win. He goes, we're going to win. Opening statements begin. We're like, holy shit, like, we're going to win. You wrote it on a piece of paper and handed it. Like, this wasn't just optimism, like,
no.
leading up to the trial. This was like, we're gonna win. Like, we're doing fucking great. We're doing great. We're doing great. And what did I say before I came up here? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's saying that so you don't get on his case mid-trial and get in the way of his catalog shopping. Yeah, we're doing great. We're doing great. Don't worry. This is in the bag. I would give you a 95, Charlie. The way you testified up there, Charlie, 95 out of 100, Charlie. We're doing great. Just let me do my thing, okay? Let me do my thing just until you get the life sentence. And then I'll see if I can come to the jail and collect your jumper to take home, your hoodie. I'll see if I can fit your hoodie in my trunk. I'll try and make room between all the piles of cash.
Like, what they'll make the optics look like is exactly what they had to do. Is when they realized they were losing, they had to turn.
The thing that amazes me about Charlie is even after he's received his life sentence, he wants credit for thinking he was going to get a life sentence, right? He's going, it was exactly what I said. I knew.
Turned it into Dateline.
If that's the last bit of credit you can grab for yourself in life, you've taken a wrong turn somewhere, man. I knew I would get a life sentence. Tell me I'm good.
Nobody watches Dateline without coming away with their own, thinking they figured it out.
Was it figured out for them?
Exactly. Oh yeah, that's what TV is made for like third and fourth graders to be able to.
Yeah, TV is made for third and fourth graders and Tallahassee.
Follow the story. Follow her car. Follow the bullet bourbon. You know, like anyone with the brain, hit them off the jury. I mean, they had 10 strikes. You know, I mean, out of there wasn't 10 good jurors on that they could even pick. But whatever was going to be decent for me got removed. It's just a statistical.
Yeah, that $1 million that we spent on Josh Dubin, Georgia just put an X next to everyone he wanted. I didn't even have to pay Josh Dubin.
Numbers. I mean, there's only so many people that will honestly show up and give you a fair shake. And once they tip their hand.
Maybe that's how it worked, guys, is they paid Josh Dubin $1 million. He selected the ones they wanted, and thereby, in doing so, told Georgia the ones that she should veto the strongest.
And they really come across as being honest, and you can see the people that could possibly relate to make life. You got to get them off. Yeah. I mean, if you look at what was left, it wasn't. I mean, Josh Dubin is as good as they come.
Yeah. You can't say anything. You can't say anybody on your case really wasn't the best. The best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how it's working.
And I knew, Mom,
Yeah, hi, Bob. How you doing? We broke a landmine today, Bob. We got more than 100. I think we had 110 at its peak in the stream at one time. How great is that, Bob?
fucking do it.
This is one of the less eventful calls because it's 6 a.m. Charlie's been awake since 4. Donna's been awake since 3. And you can just hear that they're sort of not that animated. Should we find another one? Or should we shut it off? We want to try and keep this stream to 2 hours. Oh, wow. Just as I said that, it went to 2 hours in the live. We are really turning pro here, guys. You see that? We've got an internal streaming clock now. I wasn't even looking. Anyway, all right. We'll give it a few more minutes and then wrap it up, huh?
At that point, there was nothing to do.
Nothing. I sat there at the closing and go, holy shit. Even his best friend, Ryan Fitzpatrick, said this. Even his sister, his best friend.
Maybe we'll have a look at Ryan Fitzpatrick's testimony tomorrow, guys. What do you think? Anyone got a yes, do that, or a no, don't do that in the comments? Still so many witnesses from Charlie's trial that we haven't covered. Rabbit had a good suggestion. I think maybe tomorrow we'll do 2 or 3, depending on how long they are, witnesses from Charlie's trial. Do some commentary on that. Got to get back into the Adelson case. We're building up over the next couple of months, guys, to Donna's trial, right? So make sure everyone subscribes to the channel, because there's just more and more of this coming out. There's so much that we've got to get through. It's quite an exciting time, huh?
Like, no, when you're taking something that's like paraphrasing out of a sentence.
Well, that's
not
what they
giving
did
it
with
context. Take the context out of everything.
Oh yeah, I love the point where Charlie gets the call from Erica. You mean when they're coming into she's like, listen, the cops are here and they want these records. Oh, it's great.
He sends her kissy face emojis. Yeah, I mean, it's the way I tagged, but I wasn't right. It looked like I was writing poetry.
Right.
You know, like I called your home phone number. I called the landline. Never do I call the landline. Look, I'm calling the landline. Oh, it's statistically significant. I mean, I did call the landline. And you only live there 90 days, and I always called your cell phone. Okay, let's make a pie chart. Look at all these things. Look at this mountain of things. Even his best friend saying this. Holy shit.
This whole thing with the phones called the landline, you know, they all just got royally stitched up, you know, even when they've got burner phones. It's like, well, the cops can. Grish had a great point on burner phones, you know, how if you buy a burner phone, the cops still know what phone number that is, where it was purchased, and can find out when it was purchased and the location. So they've got the time and the area. So it's quite likely that you take your main cell phone with you to purchase the burner phone, right? Because your cell phone's just with you all the time. So they can do a tower dump of all the cell phones that are near the shop that you bought the burner phone at that date and time, right? And it's real simple. It's a long list of numbers, but they just have a repeating algorithm that goes through and finds numbers that are relevant and important. And then, you know, while you're using the burner phone, you're never on your main phone, because you wouldn't be on 2 phones at the same time, right? So they just have these clever ways to smash the shit out of people buying burner phones. What you've got to do is have like 5 or 6 locations around the city, different locations with public payphones, street phones, right? Phone boxes. And then just certain times, you can't like be at that payphone every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. You know, you can't do that. So you've got to mix it up. You got to be walking past certain phone boxes at certain times and just mix it up. And if there's a call on one as you're walking past, you pick it up. If you can't reach the person like that, you try again on a different day. You say, okay, on Monday, walk down that street at 3. On Wednesday, walk down that other street at 4:30. You know, there's something that you could do.
Yeah, his best friend before they had a falling out. Holy shit.
Did you know him back then?
I knew him through Darren. I literally had, I think, one text message from him inviting me to a football game. Like, if you look at my text messages from 14, I don't know if I ever...
Oh, you've outlawed payphones already in the States? Yeah, we still have them in Portugal. Yeah, but I guess they don't get used very often, you know. Well, maybe you could do it at like a business, like a hotel or something. I don't know. There's got to be a great way. Maybe we should find the way how to really, you know, the whole burner phone idea is bullshit, and anyone who thinks that that's going to keep them out of trouble is stupid. So what is the way? What is the best way to send clandestine messages and calls when the cops are on your tail looking at all your stuff, huh? Wonder what that is. Grish would know.
I texted him. I think he texted me once, like maybe 2 or 3 text messages.
Yeah. You know. Yeah.
No, John Duncan, walkie-talkies, you can intercept that with anything. I mean, a CB radio, you know, you could hear every walkie-talkie in the tri-state area. Easy. That's a bad idea. Sorry.
You don't understand. I'm in paradise compared to where I'm going.
I do understand, Charlie. I really do. I'm trying to do whatever is possible. I know this is not going to be an immediate fix, but we are trying.
Listen, I'm just telling you, this was not the move. They're never going to fucking get in for a retrial. But to be honest with you, even if they did, they'd have the same bullshit evidence. And even if they did, there's no, you know, apart from somebody showing up, like saying the truth, to back me up, you couldn't find 1 in 12. It wasn't even a fucking hung jury. It wasn't even a jury that wanted to look at evidence.
No, they didn't look at anything.
Hey, what's that, Rabbit? Metrix wouldn't care if you mentioned a different creator here. He's a lot more like a community member who has a channel. Okay. Am I? Is that what I am? I don't have a self-definition. I just do this. But I barely get the time to watch anyone else's streams. Who wants to mention someone else? Delphi. Delphi, Indiana, where those girls went under the bridge, down the hill. Yeah. What is that? Who's mentioning other? Yeah, I don't care. Mention whatever channels you like. Let's open the books, guys.
No, they didn't want to waste their time. No. They just got done watching 2 hours compiled with how many times is she going to put up the same autopsy photo and leave it up while she talks? I mean, that was done to...
Oh, Cheraz, tell us who you mod for. You know, great to have a moderator in. I bet it's Patty's Playhouse or that other one. Let's see if we can guess.
Like, I mean, I understand you could put it up one time. Why are you putting it up twice? It's a horrifying photo.
Right.
You know, a 10-foot photo, bright with LED lights on it, like, and
Okay, Cheraz. Defense Diaries. Everybody should go and check out Defense Diaries, including me, because I haven't seen it yet. And that's just because I have so little time, you know, at the moment in the day. And then at nighttime, I got to stream because all the audience is in the States and Canada and Australia, and I'm in Portugal. So it's always late for me, but that's fine.
you know, making people look at it from while she talks and leave it up. And then another place in the slide in the fucking show, she put it up again. To drive home the point.
Yeah.
Like, you have Wendy, you're confirming Wendy's TV appointment that day. Wendy's got her alibi. Like, an alibi so they don't suspect you did. Does anyone think that Wendy was shooting a gun? Like,
is it the Defense Diaries
could have put
podcast?
herself anywhere else on planet Earth. She had to have a TV repairman that may or may not show up at her house at a given time.
Oh, wow.
That's her alibi. So stupid.
Yeah, check it out, guys. Defense Diaries podcast. 22,000 subscribers. Wow. Well, I guess they don't need a plug from me. But everyone should go and check out Defense Diaries. Look, Jay's on there. We know him. So much content. But then, you know, the True Crime Metrix content is just so much more colorful. Look, it's like a candy shop. A candy shop of crime. I love the colors. Wow, just so much content. Yeah, everyone subscribe to True Crime Metrix and also subscribe to Defense Diaries, guys.
I mean, you think about it, each thing they're presenting, you know it's stupid, I know it's stupid. The jury's eating it up. They're showing evidence. It's not evidence. No, it's her alibi. Her alibi.
Oh, he's so mad at Wendy, Shiraz. He's almost saying without saying exactly the words in these calls, but it's so easy to infer that he's saying she is the reason that I got caught. And she went to the crime scene and it's her fault. You can tell he's one step away from saying, I'm going to blow the whistle on her because, you know, he's almost warming himself up to that. He's like slowly going over to a place where he's going to say, well, if I'm going to spend my life in jail, she's going to spend her life in jail. You know, and you just know that when they were kids, if they both did something wrong, like, and one of them got in trouble, the one who got in trouble would snitch on the other one and get them the punishment because as well. You know what I mean? Kids that do that. You just know that that's the dynamic of this family. Everyone says they're really intertwined, and they are while things are going well and they're manipulating everyone around them as a tight unit. You know, but as soon as the shit hits the fan, it's every man for himself with this family, I think. Apart from maybe Charlie and Donna.
Spa appointment or workout appointment or done something on the other side of town that she knew she would have been there. I mean, what kind of alibi is it? What if the repairman gets a call in the morning and says, hey, we can't come till we'll give you a window.
Yeah, well, his mother will be dead. You know, she's 74 now. One day, you know. Hey, I bet, is there a betting shop where we can bet who's going to live longer, Donna or Charlie?
2 to 6. Oh, her whole alibi's ruined now. Based on the repairman. You know, Jeff LaCoste thought he was framed. He thought he was framed for sure. That's why he went in there guns a-blazing and like pointing fingers everywhere. Blaming Wendy, blame her brother, blame this, blame that. Like, holy, he's from South Florida. He must know bad humans.
Yeah, right, Rabbit. They probably have the same life expectancy at this point. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's neck and neck, right? There's got to be some bookies that takes bets on this kind of stuff, right? Maybe not their deaths, but like the outcome of Donna's trial. There's got to be somewhere where you can place a bet. I'd love to see what the odds are, because the bookies are really good at that, aren't they?
Blame everybody. Like, holy shit.
Hey, Alice Brady, how you doing?
But that's evidence.
Great to see you. Welcome back.
Like, what the fuck? I'm just still in the theaters. I'm still in the state of shock, even though I knew this was going to happen.
No, of course you are.
For years and years, I knew that if I went to Tallahassee, it was going to be a joke. I remember when this girl that John Cook knew, Christy Crawford, came down. She was taking pictures of me and John and sending them back to friends back home. And I'm like, oh, I want to, like, because she's like, it's such a big story back home. It's like the biggest thing on the news. I mean, it's the biggest thing on the news for years and years and years. Like, you got Dateline in 2020 coming to Tallahassee to do put them like they're on the map for this. Tallahassee doesn't make national news for any.
Yeah, okay, Alice. Enjoy the show. You know, it's been a busy night tonight. You know, good to be back on the Adelson case tomorrow. About around 6 o'clock Eastern, we're starting off with Ryan Fitzpatrick and a few other testimonies from the Charlie Adelson trial. We're going to be staying with these guys for a little bit. Gonna, stay with this case for a little bit, little bit. So everyone subscribe to the channel. Don't miss a beat.
Anything other than Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
You know, this is making national and world news. They could have brought my dog up here and they would have convicted him.
They could have brought my dog up here and they would have convicted him. I'd love to see that. What would they convict him for? Isn't it true, sir, that you chewed your tennis ball until the squeaker came out and then you didn't touch it again, sir?
Oh yeah, there was no justice here. This is not any form of justice. This is vigilante justice, but this is not justice. It's all.
There's no news in Tallahassee, Rabbit, and you know it. There's no news. The only news that they read in Tallahassee is how to make grits the old-fashioned way. And what else do they have? Where to sign up for the annual pig race, where you can race a pig into a swamp.
All it was vigilante justice.
Vigilante justice, that's what it is. Yeah. Villagers have got themselves some torches, and it was vigilante justice. They came down to Miami, dragged me out of my Whale Harbor mansion, brought me back up to Tallahassee, where they lie and don't understand, and they're sweaty and puffy.
Exactly what I said 2 years ago. I said, I go up to Tallahassee, I will not get a fair trial. It's going to be a fucking joke. But I was like, I'm innocent. They're not going to have anything to show that I was part of something I wasn't part of.
Not going to have anything to show? How do you work that out? It's like when Donna's on the phone on another call saying, no evidence, no evidence. It's almost like sometimes I have to ask myself the question, And I go, have they been set up? Maybe they are all innocent. What happened here? It's like that ending I came up with to the movie where Luis Rivera eventually, because he's going to get out one day, right? So the end of the film is it cuts forward to like 2035 or whenever Luis Rivera gets out of jail. He's walking down those big, long metal stair prison corridors, right? Picking up his property, putting on his civilian clothes, and then he goes to the big gates of the prison. And they open slowly, right? And he walks out into the sun, a free man, and across the street is a car ready to pick him up. And he sees the car, walks over with recognition, gets in the passenger seat of the car. And as he gets in, the camera pans over to the person who's in the driver's seat, and it's Jeff Lacasse picking up Luis Rivera, who turns to him and says, I thought you weren't going to get caught. How great would that be? I want to make that movie. If anyone out there wants to make that movie and use that idea, feel free, because I just want to see it. I just want to see it. What a great ending that would be. It was all Jeff all along. And then, as soon as that revelation happens in the film, it cuts to like a montage of Jeff, like, he's the one that sent the invitation to the Bullet Bourbon, and he's the one that told Sigfredo Garcia about the relationship Katie was having with Charlie, and he's the one that, it's just like a montage of how instrumental he was at every stage of the plan. It was all Jeff Lacasse. Tell me that's not a fantastic idea.
Like anything that was real evidence that came in, at the very least, a reasonable doubt. No, you don't have. They can't tell you what to look at and what not to look at. They were planning a birthday party. Yeah, July 5th. Talking about birthday presents. Yeah, it's usually what you do a few weeks before, when you're trying to figure out what you're going to do. Wendy, what did you get your dad for his birthday? I don't know, 10 years ago. I don't know, I got that 8 years ago or 7 years ago. So I'm glad there's messages to show that I bought the catering. But Jesus Christ.
I'm glad there's messages to show I bought the catering. Yeah, that was the clincher of your case, Charlie. You paid for the paella man.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, we all know
Everything was
nothing.
proof. Everything was proof. They're talking about.
Yeah, Albert, it is a bit like The Usual Suspects in my mind with Kevin Spacey and Kaiser Soze, right? Yeah. It actually, it's almost identical, isn't it? That's exactly what happens at the end of that. All right, fine. but I still think it's great.
A birthday present. I said in that text message to Wendy, I've got 5 reasons why you shouldn't buy a house. Not 1 reason, 5 reasons why. And I think that one where I said, like, he'll hold it over her and she won't get her deposit back is because she was only allowed to move within so many miles of the marital home. And I think one of the homes was outside of that mile.
Oh, Rabbit, you've brilliant. You've done it. The air freshener hanging from the rearview mirror is in the shape of an owl. Okay. Oh, love it. God, I think I'm going to write this, storyboard it or something. That's fantastic. What else could we do? And where does Shadrick Nobles come into this?
Iowa area. So I was like, Wendy, if you're only allowed to move, say 12 miles from the marital.
Did everyone see that video of Shadrick Nobles recently, where he's now, you know, collecting trash on that big truck for the city on people's driveways. But there's a video of him, like a selfie, a YouTube short, where he's doing his job, riding on the back of the trash truck on Trescott Drive. I mean, that's almost like a piece of art. It's so kind of introspective or something. It's morbid and peculiar, but it's pretty interesting.
Marital home. The home you're looking at 13 miles, and you put a deposit down, he's going to hold that over your head. You may lose your deposit. You may have to sell the house. Like, that's a reason not to get it. Like, being a woman with 2 kids, the house is a huge responsibility. You're better off renting. You know, rent in the neighborhood for a year.
I think I also want to incorporate into this movie idea some involvement with June Umchinda, where it's finally revealed that she's not an idiot, right? She takes out those teeth, which are fake, and you know, and she somehow gets all the money, Charlie's money. She was part of that. She had her own plan going on, right? Saw an opportunity, and suddenly the mask comes off, and she's not a moron, and she's got all the money. Well, early stages with that one, but yeah.
Sure you like it before you start looking in that neighborhood. Like, there's lots of reasons.
Yeah, Neverly. She just has perfectly normal, good teeth under those giant horse choppers. And it's all revealed. She's not an idiot. She's not a horse. She's got all the money.
5 reasons to success, not one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadrick in the back seat for one. The final line of the movie is "Believe it," right? That's yeah. So Luis Rivera says, so you want to get a what do they have? What do they have to eat? Where could they go to eat? You want to go to Yardbirds? And Chadwick Nobles just says, "Believe it." And they all go to Yardbirds. June, Shadrick, Lewis, and Jeff. Right? That's the final scene at Yardbirds. And they're all ordering sushi and pizza. Okay, I know it's like American food, but at Yardbirds, but even so.
That's right. You don't do that.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. You're a miracle worker. What? Because I got lucky to not look at buying a house that she was going to make a mistake with. Hey. I mean, wasn't she looking at buying a house in the springtime? Was I stopping her in the springtime? No.
No.
I mean, it's just like, you can't be your evidence on one side and then not your evidence on the other side.
Right.
It didn't matter, Mom.
No, it didn't. I mean,
People that were coming out to be jurors were also coming into the courtroom to watch the proceedings. People like that guy who posted about the case who said he was a good juror. He answered everything correctly. And then they reviewed his social media. Thank God it was.
Hey guys, we've got 99 likes on this channel, on this video, while we're still on live stream. That's another record. We've had more than 100 people in the stream at one time. That's a record. We've got 99 likes. We need one more like on the video, guys, to get to 100. Someone go and click that like button. Let's smash 2 records in one night here. Yeah? Easy money. Good job, guys. Good job, community. Good job, Metrix. Good job, Metrix fans. Love you all. Awesome.
Oh, if he had problems, that's something I would have known.
Yeah.
But he's putting social media posts about wanting to kill people involved in the case.
Yeah.
105 likes, guys. While the stream is still on. That's never happened before. Thank you all.
I mean, they didn't deliberate. They made their minds. I mean, how many times are you going to show the same autopsy photos? Horrible photos. Sickening.
That's why they did it.
Worse. The same photos they show.
You know, one day this channel is going to plateau, but not today. We'll just keep going up and up. You know, we tried to do, you know, we covered some other cases, some not so well-known cases that I like and that my dog likes, right? And, you know, there were less people in the stream, and that's okay, because we're not really here to get the numbers, although it is really nice when we do, like today. But yeah. I wonder what's going to happen here, you know. We're not even at Donna's trial. Donna's trial's in a couple of months. What position are we going to be in 2 months? It's exciting times. And then straight after that trial, we're pretty much going straight directly into Sarah Boone's trial. Another long-awaited, long-anticipated Florida courtroom situation. It's going to be a great end to the summer, a great beginning to the fall. Who knows what's happening next?
It was the first time that they showed it. 3 different times in the trial, they kept showing the same photos. Nobody's disputing that a murder was committed, but like, it's enough to make you angry when you watch this, look at the photos. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I'm literally just in shock. I'm in shock, but I'm not in shock. I'm in shock and anger.
It's shocking. Yeah.
It's shock, it's anger, it's hating the fact that I knew what it was going to be.
That's interesting, Cheraz. Cheraz says something y'all did put your channel into my algorithm. I'm constantly searching for channels like this, and this one hasn't shown up until today. Wow, I wonder what that was. It was probably something from a month ago, you know. I don't know. It's a really interesting thing to get your head around, this algorithm business, guys. You know, it's like sometimes it does you really nice favors and sometimes not so much, but you know, it seems to like us pretty good at the moment, the last couple of months.
I already put somebody in the hotel. I'm hoping the guy to get out of this room today. I think it's making it worse, to be honest with you.
No, of course. It's so much worse. You said this guy comes around 9 to 5. You said he comes in around 9 to 5, this guy?
I have no idea what you were.
You know, this whole thing with Charlie moaning about it was a 2-hour Dateline special with autopsy photos. I'd love it if there was some ability for us to you know, imagine if you could go back in time. The whole trial plays out exactly how it did. But when it comes to closing argument, because it's Charlie is complaining about Georgia's closing argument, and she put the autopsy picture up there multiple times and left it up there, and it was horrible to look at. Okay, well, I'd love to see what would have happened if Georgia said, I'm not going to make a closing argument. Or just went up there and said, you should all vote guilty. And that was it. and then let Dan Rashbaum do his ridiculous, does that make any sense? Argument he made. I believe that the jury were decided before closing arguments based on the trial and the testimony of Charlie Adelson. It wasn't like the autopsy pictures tipped them over the edge. You know what I mean? He's got no idea what people think of him.
The morning, when he works the days, I'm sure it's probably, 8 to 5 or something.
Luis Rivera played by Antonio Banderas. Where'd you get that? I mean, that'd be great, but it wouldn't be like, he wouldn't be chosen for looking the same. Good accent, though.
Like that, he's the chief of the jail. But he's got to get me out of here. This is not fair.
No, it's not.
It's like a box.
Well, Hugh Hefner says, strange how Jodi Arias wanted desperately to see the after-murder photos. Charlie couldn't stand them. Photos, me. Yeah, I think Jodi wanted to see them so that she could tailor her story, right? Because if she made something up and said, this is the new story, but it was disproven by something in those pictures, that would be bad. So she wanted to make sure, and probably also look at her work,
I know Dan doesn't have, influence there, but he could at least call. And
He could call,
Yeah, I think that would be. I mean, I can certainly after 8 or 9, I could text him just to ask,
By 9 o'clock, and this guy, Chief Max, just runs his own schedule. He runs the whole jail. I mean, there ain't nobody above that.
Yeah, Rabbit, that works. I only know who Pitbull is from the Jennifer Lopez. Oh no, is that it? Yeah, I think it's the Jennifer Lopez song, Amor, Amor, Amor.
If you don't get him in there by 9:30, just call me and just say nobody came, and by that time I can text Dan and say what time could Charlie call you, where are you open today, because he really needs to.
Please turn CC on. Closed caption. Well, what do you mean? You mean of me? Because it's on the screen for the call. I don't know if it happens on live. I guess it doesn't. How would that work? Anyway, we're gonna be going in a second, guys. It's almost 2 a.m. here.
Quick, okay?
Yeah, that's never quick. I guess it's funny if I can get on the phone, man. I don't want to get off. Then you don't get spent some time with me.
Wow, Amber Heard playing Wendy. Finally, a job that she might be able to do, because she wouldn't even need to have to act, which is always the problem with Amber Heard when she tries to act. But if she was playing Wendy, she could pretty much just be herself, right?
I never should have come up here for this shit. This is exactly what I knew it would be. I mean, it would take.
Hey, CJG, is that possible to have closed captioning on a live stream? That would be some super technology. Does that happen? I don't think that can happen. It needs time to do the speech to text computer business, right?
A miracle to get an appeal. But a miracle to get an appeal. after what they went through up here in Tallahassee to give me a new trial, that would be it.
Oh, okay, CJ. I don't know how to do that though, and we're wrapping up. We've just got a couple of minutes on this, but I'll look into it for next time. If you prefer to have closed captioning, I'll check how we can do that next time.
A second here. So listen, I just got prepared for this trial, having my own cell, my own phone. I mean, I think in DOC you have the tablets. I'm pretty sure they have them now. Maybe not in all facilities, but I'm pretty sure they do. But I had my own cell. Nobody was going through my papers. You know, if somebody would have taken these papers and thrown them away, I would have been fine. Because it's like legal notes. I mean, I had notes and notes and notes and notes. It's like I had my own cell. I had my own food. Nobody could come in my cell. I have a cellmate. Like, you don't understand where I am in paradise compared to where I'm going. I don't know how else to say it.
I know Dan is going to try to work on getting you in at least a decent place with people that are not what you're expecting. So he's going to try to do.
Well, I know what I'm expecting. I'm going to be around all people with life sentences. They put them together. They do not put them with other inmates. These are people that are never getting out.
I'm talking about people that are high profile or cops or those kind of people.
That's what they're going to have to do. Or high profile cases where people, they can't put them with other inmates.
Yeah. Don't worry, Charlie. Harvey is on the phone right now, trying to get us preferential treatment. Okay, we're rich, and we can buy our way into a country club jail. They're going to have a ping pong table and a foosball table and seats with cushions. Can you imagine if that is the absolute highest aspiration that you should bother having is a ping pong table and a seat with a cushion, you know, and a poster on the wall, some color in the room, you know. That's it. That is the highest standard that you will ever reach, and it's probably not likely that you'll get there.
So hopefully there's a camp and they'll be put with other.
Oh yeah, he loves go-karts, doesn't he? He's going to turn pro.
You know, but they separate people with life sentences. They're separated. Oh wow. This is unreal. I mean, they didn't even fucking they deliberated longer for the Parkland school shooter than they did me.
What did he just say? Parkland school shooter. Oh, they deliberated longer for the Parkland school shooter than they did him. Well, yeah, but that was a death penalty case, you know. So it's different.
This is unreal. I mean, they didn't even fucking they deliberated longer for the Parkland school shooter than they did me.
And he really kills people. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he forgot to mention that, didn't he? And then when Donna says, yeah, and he really killed people, not like you, wink. He goes, yeah, that's what I meant. Like, I'm not a murderer, right?
Like, it's you. Like, me, you got witnesses showing up and lying. Like, no, don't look at them. Look at the text. Look at some angry emails crazy emails in her book.
Oh, now he's slamming his mother to her face. Look at these crazy emails and Wendy's book. Did you see her book? Look at her book, Hiawassee Springs, in the Panhandle, in the Florida Panhandle, at Northern Florida State University.
And calling the home phone number and driving by the house. Like, all things that have nothing to do with what happened.
That was a bit of a tell, wasn't it? All things that had nothing to do with what happened. Now, what is what happened in the context that he just meant it? The murder, right? The plan, the conspiracy, the hiring of the hitmen.
That was so stupid. Not 1 in 12. And that's with somebody who did the. Have you ever spoken to Josh Stephen?
No.
Okay.
Read a lot about him, but no.
So you read about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he didn't send somebody down here. He came down here himself and did it.
Josh Dubin came here himself on a white horse and burst into the courtroom to select a jury and take our money. Take our $1 million in cash.
I mean, this is on his whole turf, and he knows Tallahassee. Like, he lived in Tallahassee for. What are the chances of him having?
Yeah, Kerry B, can you imagine the Latin Kings sitting around the table in like the back room of a motorcycle garage, you know, like under one of those hanging ceiling lights that comes down really low in a smoke-filled room, planning the hit, saying, what if we travel to Tallahassee and kill that guy that he hates? And then we'll extort his money by threatening to kill him. And then one of the Latin Kings, a newer recruit, just pipes up and said, or we could just threaten to kill him and take the money. And the older Louis Rivera's like, shut up. We're going to Tallahassee to kill Professor Markel. It's a great plan. Shut up, new recruit.
I've lived in Tallahassee for 40 years.
No, I know, that's really weird.
I mean, he has like this institute at the Cordoza Law School. Cordoza is a big school, a big name school, right?
Oh, yellow ties, Neverly. I remember that one. That was hilarious. Oh no, you really shouldn't be commenting on his tie. I didn't realize this was a fashion, what did she say? Critique review? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. Benjamin Carter. School of Law.
Like, Nancy, you're not going to get someone who knows Tallahassee from someone who's lived here for 4 years. I mean, I know it was 25 years ago, but he fucking knows Tallahassee. I mean, brought him on. Dan even said to me when he was in.
Hi, the two. Well, this is all news to me as well. Well, what part of Canada are you from? And yeah, the Cajun Creole thing, I need to learn more about it. It sounds interesting, and I was very convinced by some of the early comments. But I don't know anything about it. I thought it was just Cajun spice, you know, bit of paprika, bit of cayenne, bit of whatever.
Interviewing people, he said
soul food.
Like when he was doing his thing with the jury, he's like, he's much better at this than I am. He could other.
You know who would be really great to weigh in on the Creole Cajun debate, guys, is Chief Mac. Chief Mac would tell us the full breakdown of history, you know, while grilling with a big apron on. Wouldn't you just love to go to a cookout with Chief Mac?
And then hiring me, this is the best money that you've spent so far of the case.
It'd be the best damn cookout you'd have ever been to.
So I said, felt great. Had the investigators, had Dan, had Kate. It wasn't like me to do it myself. Had Dan, had Kate. He was running ideas by everybody in his entire fucking law firm. He was running ideas by people that weren't lawyers. I mean, every time he got on a bicycle, he was talking to the guys that he played with. He was talking to his tennis player friends. He was, you know.
Man, we still have 84 people in the stream. It feels kind of stupid to wrap it up. I don't know what to do. Just never quit. Never quit. All night stream. But it's 2:06 in the morning. Maybe we should just maybe we should quit while the iron is hot, huh?
Calling me up all excited.
Right, we'll give it to 2:15. 2 and a Q.
All the time I talk to him. Great news, great news, great news, great news. Huge day today. Great news, great news, great development, found this, found that.
Right, I know.
Like, I mean, nothing but like.
Charlie, you know, in a normal jury, this would not have happened. This would no way have happened. No.
And that's why I was never going to get a fucking fair trial up here. Never. Never. I hung around for fucking nothing. It wasn't even close. And you're talking like I was in my mental state. You know how much time I spent meeting with Dan?
Oh.
How many days Dan came up to South?
Yeah, do you know how much time I spent meeting with Dan? Do you know how much time that we spent going over my fake story? And he would give me these, what do you call it? What do you call those cards that you hold and you turn around the back? What are they? Cue card? No. What is the when you're practicing something and you have those cards and he'd hold one up and he'd hold up a card and it would say Skyline Chili. And then Charlie would go, Skyline Chili, okay. It was April 29th, and I was eating a bowl of chili. Yeah, he made me practice day and night. It was like the Karate Kid, but with law.
Tallahassee and like spent the whole day with me. You know, I'm never gonna be as sharp as a mind as I had when I testified. I'm never gonna look the way I did when I testified. Nothing's ever gonna be. That was the A game.
Flashcards. Bob's got it. Oh, and Kerry and Lisa and Ryan. I didn't see those. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I know.
This was, I mean, that's the other thing. It's like, it's not like we, it's not like we cut corners. It's not like we didn't get the best people. It's not like, I didn't have an attorney that really worked that hard. These cases that you come back and you win, it's major fuck-ups from the judge, and you get people that had attorneys that really did a slack-out job, and they didn't have the right jury. Like, this was done with with pulling out all the stops. I mean, this was done with with no expense spared, pulling out all the stops, like putting in 110%. I mean, Dan, for all intents and purposes, like stopped working on all other cases. I mean, he did little things here and there, but he stopped working on all cases. He put 110% in my case. He had someone like Kate, who's brilliant, working alongside him. She's brilliant. I mean, she doesn't talk as well as they had. Like, I mean, she's brilliant. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
You had a co-counsel that was fucking brilliant that was helping him. I mean, you had Josh Dubin. You had investigators. Like, it didn't even come close to even mattering. Didn't even come close. I mean, the coverage up here was insane. Insane. I don't know how you can have a trial in a town with.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if he said fancy fiction by name? We had fancy fiction in the courtroom. How do you expect me to win the case with fancy fiction sitting 3 pews behind me? You know, mentor lawyer was here, walking in and out. Just walking in and out, mentor lawyer.
This much coverage. I mean, but I think wherever I go, there'd be bloggers, and I think Kappelman will show up with her same 2-hour presentation going, come on, guys, use your own common sense. Use your common sense. Even his best friend, even his sister, even this, the text messages, the emails. Oh, look, they're like best friends. Oh, he still dated her for 4 or 5 months after. Like, no, I broke up with her that week.
I broke up with her the same week that Markel was shot. I wanted to distance myself from the connection to the hitman. He's putting forward evidence now. He hasn't got a friggin' idea. He hasn't got a Scooby-Doo.
I broke up with her that week. I started dating Whitney. We were done. Like, why do you keep telling me that we were together for 5 months? That's not what I said. That doesn't support it. It's okay. We slept together one time 4 months later. Like, but that's not we weren't in a relationship for 5 months, and we ended things that week. Like, but then she just talked over and like create her own facts. Create her own facts in closing. It's just, you gotta understand, to win an appeal and then to win a new trial, to go get ready for trial, and to have an attorney like Dan be ready to rock and roll, have his co-counsel, have a jury selector, but you're still gonna have the
we rigged all of the odds in our favor, and it still wasn't enough to beat the truth. We paid all this money to people to rig our odds, and we lost. How did this happen? You know, and yeah, Rabbit, his chances of an appeal are 0, pretty much, or like 0.0001. And he's not helping himself or his mother by, saying, oh, but Dan did a great job. The best hope that you can have is claiming ineffective assistance of counsel to get a new trial, because you're not going to get away with blaming Stephen Everett, the judge. You're not going to get away with blaming bulletproof Kappelman, are you? You can pray and hope that you can find some reason that the jury fucked up. That's something that isn't really in the court's control, isn't really in your control. That's his only hope now, which isn't likely, right? But if as soon as he got the verdict, you're guilty, he should start complaining about Dan, not going, oh, he was great, he was the best, you should have seen how long he sat with me with the flashcards. And Donna as well should not have hired him, because that supports the fact that they think he did a good job. So if he did a good job, he's not performing ineffective assistance of counsel. Idiots. Basic stuff, guys.
Bloggers, the 2020, and the Dateline, and the press, and the newspaper, and the TV, and you're going to have all that shit show happening at the same time. And there's a lot of things on there that you can't explain why Wendy showed up at his house. You can't explain why you said the word TV. You can't explain me calling the house landline from my cell phone other than to go, it's a fucking coincidence. But that's it. It's coincidences happen. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of coincidences.
That's an interesting one, Ryan B., who says, funny thing is, I think Charlie got the idea because Katie actually was softly extorting him. Yeah, well, I guess so. She's like, hey, you know, my Mazda needs some work. So you mentioned somebody called Sully. You think he's available? Thing is, I don't have any cash right now, so maybe if we could put it on an account with Sully that you would later pay. You know, because I did that favor for you, huh? Hooked you up with that great favor, and it worked. Yes, I've always wanted to take my mother on a cruise. Oh, Ethan's birthday's coming up and I've got no money to buy him a gift. What a terrible mother I am.
I'm just in shock. Dude, I gave my shit away on Sunday thinking I was coming home to everybody in my life. I literally feel like tension around my neck like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, I gave all my stuff away thinking I was coming home to my life. I gave my Apple away, and I gave 2 packets of noodles to my Sally, and you know, a soft pillow. I gave the soft pillow to one of the guards. And now I have no apple, no noodles, and no soft pillow. Can you imagine the type of pillows that Dan Rashbaum has in his luxury condo? We're talking Egyptian cotton, directly made by Cleopatra's handmaidens, you know, actually recovered from the Great Pyramids of Giza, you know.
I'm just in shock at this movie. I know it's going to go from...
Oh, that's a nice point, Carrie B. Carrie B says, I think Charlie had Sully fix the Mazda. Her damn wheel fell off on the highway. Yeah, that's another interesting twist to the movie version, right? Charlie's going to Sully saying, yeah, those how are those brakes looking on the Mazda? Any problem with the cable? Could we make a problem with the cable? Just get her out of the picture, you know, cut all the loose ends, kill everybody.
It's always shock and anger. Yeah.
You know, it's, I think one of the interesting things about this case, guys, is that the types of killers that these people are, you know, especially Wendy. Can you imagine who in Wendy's life is not expendable? Nobody. You know, anyone will die that needs to die so that she can further her aims, her goals, her desires, whatever they are. You know, no one's too precious. Anyway, guys, we are over 3 hours in, and we've been trying to cut down on the long streams because we think it won't be that good in the long run. You know, the algorithm says that videos should be watched to 100%. And although all you die-hard fans out there in the lives do us all a massive solid and stay until the end, people in the future might not have 3 hours in the day. So we should cut it off here. Plus, it's 2:21 in the morning, guys. So this was a great show, guys. How many records have we broken today? We had 110 concurrent viewers in the streams. How many likes have we got on this video now? Let's check. Let's check. Let's get a few more in the last couple of minutes, guys. 117 likes. Fantastic work, guys. Yep. More content on the channel page. Look at our fantastic channel page, guys. One of the best there is, right? So colorful. Candy shop of crime. Doesn't it just make you want to dive in and subscribe? It would me. Anyway, if anyone out there wants to give a last-minute support donation to the channel, you can do so by super thanks, super chat, super like, super sticker, or there's a link to buymeacoffee.com in the description to the video where you can buy us a coffee.com. Let's say you're watching the video after the live on replay. You can still support the channel by leaving a super thanks on the video. Just click the $sign, enter your dollar amount, and it's as simple as that, and you will have supported the channel moving forward. That's fantastic, and we thank you so much. Anyway, tomorrow, guys, we're starting off with a few videos of different testimonies from the Charlie Adelson case. I think we're going to do Ryan Fitzpatrick first, and then Rabbit, perhaps you can remind me in Discord or on an email or something about, what was it? Or here, if you're still here. Where's the stream gone? There was something, was it Dan's lawyer or something? You wanted to see that. Yeah, if you have the name of that guy, we'll cover him too tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to be spending a little bit more time on the Adelson case, guys. And Stephen Weber. Okay, I'm going to write that down with a real old school pen and paper right now. Forget all this digital stuff. Stephen Weber. Where's my pen? Okay, well, okay, I am going to just copy it. Screenshot it. So I don't forget. Same day as Ryan Fitzpatrick. Wonderful. So that'll be easy to find. Okay, we'll see how long that that runs us, guys, and we'll probably have time for one more. I don't think Ryan Fitzpatrick is too long. So yeah, okay. We'll see you all tomorrow around 6 o'clock Eastern. You know, I know it's still a little early. I know some of you are driving back from work, blowing through stop signs to get back to watch True Crime Metrix. But, you know, please respect the traffic rules, okay? Drive safe. Don't put others at risk just to get to this show. We know it's great. We know you love it. But please, road safety comes first. And yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you so much. We love you all. Kisses, hugs, everyone. Good night. Thank you. Bye.